Okay, now we're at least picking up audio from one thing.
Oh, yep.
And then now, now let's try. Are you picking up everybody?
Well, I don't know. Everyone wants to talk.
It doesn't look like it's capturing anybody but me. Hmm. All right, how about you guys keep talking until we can actually hear it here? Basically, yeah.
Even see. I don't even see the Discord's
Well, how
catching
about that
my
new
audio.
Capenna?
It may be catching it now. You're catching the others?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
We're getting everybody.
Okay, now we're in business. Okay, we had a false start. Sorry. So we're gonna restart. Just want to welcome everybody to session 6 of our run through of Night of the Sun, which is a module by Mad Hermit Games. And you can, if you're interested, you can pick up this module at Drive-Thru RPG. And what else did I say beforehand? Oh, yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that we have a newsletter available too. Our first issue of that is out. It's on our Patreon site, Mad Hermit Games at Patreon. You just go to Patreon, then go to Mad Hermit Games. You'll find us. The first issue of the newsletter is free, and it's a big old honking 58 pages, I've been told. And the reason it's so big is because every issue of that newsletter contains a portion of a serial adventure. So, like, every month we add another big chunk of this dungeon module, basically. And it's pretty cool. But we got a lot of details that we wanted to cover for the background in the area of that adventure. So we stuffed it all into issue 1, as much of it as possible anyway. And it's free, so go get it if you think you might be interested. There's some other cool articles and stuff in there, some fantastic artwork, so I think it's worth looking at anyway. And it's, if you decide to subscribe, it's $3 a month. So okay, where we last left our heroes in the village of Dawn's Hollow, surrounded on all sides by Thornwall. The heroes you've killed the were-rat, you captured and killed the ghast, you survived the were-rat somehow, and have made it through kind of a hectic day of chaos inside the village. Villagers are handling it as best as can be expected. They haven't panicked yet. Pitchforks haven't come out, but they aren't in the best mood or shape presently. You guys are at the inn where Dask has gone upstairs to take a bath before are you guys going to be leaving to try to leave the village and head north toward that Bone Dust Hill shrine?
Yes.
This eve at middle night, like they told you at the church?
Well,
okay.
Well, we need to get rest. We've had the absolute shit kicked out of us, and none of us have any spells or any abilities left at all. So.
Oh, yeah, that would be a rough time.
By skeletons.
Those skeletons did not help.
Skeletons.
Yeah.
So that would be
That was the second time I died that day.
You might do better to wait. It's up to you, though, however you want to do it. At the present moment, where we left our party off at was Dask had gone upstairs to take a bath. Mindra had been kind enough to pour him a hot bath. She even scented it and everything lovingly because she has a crush on Dask. And yet, when you two came looking for him, because he had disappeared and been gone for a while, you arrived at the door of the bathing room. I hesitate to call it a bathroom, because it's not really a bathroom. They have outhouses here. But this is just the room where they have a couple of big, large tubs. and they lift up hot water from the kitchens through a dumbwaiter and fill up one of those tubs if you want it. And the door was locked. You couldn't get in. Oliver cast Eldritch Blast on the door and fried the hinges and the locking mechanism. So there's smoke swirling around the door. And Core had just pounded his fist on the door and knocked it inward into the room. So the door collapses with a slam to the floor of this bathing chamber with smoke swirling around it. The room is a little bit misty anyway because of the steam. Dask was taking a nice hot bath. Dask's body is lying in the bathtub, pale as a sheet.
That's not great.
Is there anything else immediately in there that could be a threat?
No, not that you see.
Okay. I'm going to be running up to Dask and pulling him out of the bath.
Okay, you head up there, you grab a hold of him. Dask, you suddenly wake up from a deep, comfortable sleep. You hadn't sunk into the bathtub, though maybe you easily could have and drowned. You're fine. You haven't drowned, but you are a little discombobulated and tired as they sort of shake you awake and they're trying to pull you out of the comfy bath water. You're utterly confused by this, Dask. You're not sure what the problem is, but your first thought is that you're under attack again from some direction. Do you let them pull you out of the bathtub without a problem, or what do you do?
Probably flail around a bit and try and get sights on.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little.
Like flail around a bit and try and get sights on who's in the room and what's happening.
Okay, it's Core and Oliver. They look a little panic stricken.
Okay.
Well, hello.
I guess I'll get out of the tub.
Put some damn clothes on.
Just kind of look.
You grab him his tunic and breeches and throw them to him. You kind of stumble out of the bathtub. You're still really tired. You feel very groggy. You know how if you wake up and you haven't had quite enough sleep and you're just kind of straw-headed and not entirely sure what's going on. It's going to take you a little while to sort of reestablish yourself. Get some caffeine might help, but you are tired. You feel exhausted, like you could sleep for a week.
So I know you're still coming too, but here's my kind of idea of what we should do. We should probably go to our room, lock the frickin' door, lock the window, get a night's rest, and then head out in the morning like we had originally planned on it. And I know we won't be able to do that thing in the morning, the little ritual or whatever we need to do up on the hill. But we can at least get there, maybe camp the night so that way we're fresh to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay.
Sure.
It seems like a pretty good plan to me, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be keeping a wary eye out for Mindra in the halls or anything.
Okay.
But
You're...
But yeah, other than that, just head over to the bedroom and kind of get it secured for the night so we can go to sleep.
All right. Let's just slide your guys' tokens over to room number 2 then, across the way. You head in there. It occurs to each of you as you enter the room that it was only, last night you were sleeping in here and your friend was asleep in that bed right there.
Right.
And it's no longer there. They've changed the mattress. They've changed out the blankets. There's still a bit of a blood stain on the floor. But other than that, no sign of your now buried friend.
Once everybody's in, I'm going to tip the bed over on its side and push it up against the door.
Okay. Smart. That's good. Okay, that's what you do. Takes you a minute. You jostle it over there, though, pretty well. Get it up against the door, and you feel like it probably, somebody that's really determined could probably kick the door in and knock the bed over, but you would certainly notice it, right? It would give you some time. It would at least alert you that someone's coming into the room.
Right.
And tangle up their entrance for sure.
Cool.
And everybody just gonna bed down for the evening?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure the shutters are locked too.
Okay, you lock
Almost
the shutters.
died twice in the same day. Fucking
Right.
missing an eye.
You bed
give me some
down
rest.
and now hopefully you get a full night's rest. I'm going to go ahead and give a D12 encounter roll here, and what you don't want to see arrive is a 1, 6, or a 12. You're good. The night passes relatively without incident. A couple of maybe minor incidents. You hear some yelling outside at one point, but nothing severe. It seems to fade or take care of itself, and the group of you sleep. Just around sunrise, you're awakened by a how to describe it? An insisting, possibly slightly authoritarian knock, like on your. Did you hear that? I'm not sure if you could hear that or not, but
Not
sort
quite.
of a nice, solid thump, 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 thump knock. It's sort of insistent and in charge.
Good morning, Vindara.
Anyone? That's exactly right. Cora, you get up and move the mattress out of the way and open the door to discover who you knew would be there. It's Theta. Of course, I don't have her token handy. Let me see if I can find it. Theta's token when I'm working on these games, Theta's token like always comes up, so she's always helping me make sure that the maps are working when I'm putting stuff together. But when I need her in a game, nope, she's never there. Okay, so you open the door to discover not only Acolyte Theta, but Acolyte Niles as well. And Niles is looking a little sheepish, standing behind Theta.
Good
Theta
morning.
says, you didn't leave in time. You didn't leave in time. That means that if you're going to leave today, you are going to be stuck out there, and you're going to have to camp out there, and no guarantees on what that will be like. She kind of glares at you.
We had no choice.
I just kind of.
Well,
we were damn near
what are you
dead.
gonna do on Fawcett? Just what else are you supposed to do? I was asleep and almost dying twice.
That sounds like a you problem, she says. I've ordered that the creek be that's my Montana coming out. At the creek be blocked off at either end with wagons, wood, anything we could use to jumble up and put there in the creek to slow any further undead, but some have gathered on the northern end, which is the end you need to use, she says. I'm not sure what to do about them. We could either clear them out for us or I don't know. What is your plan? Well,
we'll be heading up that way here very shortly. I'm going to grab a quick loaf of bread or something and head out the door.
Now, listen, I've been regretting telling you about the tomb. And I want an assurance from you, cleric, that you will make sure you and your companions don't desecrate that tomb or rob it of anything.
We're there to cleanse it.
All right.
Not desecrate it.
Well, along that same lines, however, I'd like you to take Niles. Niles looks down at the floor the minute she says it. He can be somewhat helpful. He's an excellent healer, she says. And I think he needs the experience anyway.
We'd be glad to have him.
There it is, Niles. You're with them now, she says. Good luck. And without even looking at him, she wanders off. Niles is left standing in the hallway, shuffling his feet and looking at you.
Well, don't just stand there looking weird. Come on in.
Oops. Okay. He steps forward into the room, and there's Niles. He's like, I'm going to have to gather a few of my things. When are we leaving?
Well, as soon as you gather your things, I think we're ready.
Okay. I'll go over there and meet me at the chapel, he says.
Alrighty.
Okay. He takes off. Niles disappears. So outside, you unshutter your window and look out. It's still rainy and dreary. Low-hanging dark gray clouds overhead swirling around. it's not doesn't seem to be wanting to let up at all. The thorn wall hasn't changed location or anything, hasn't grown taller, it hasn't changed much. It's just as it was. So what's the first plan of action? You're just going to eat breakfast maybe and then head out?
Yep. Eat a good breakfast.
Okay.
Maybe stuff some of the less perishable shit in the backpack and fucking go find Niles.
Okay. So I'm not going to go through every last floor that you visit here. I'm going to take us back to the landing page for a minute, and we'll just kind of go over this Perot Theater of the Mind for a moment. You head downstairs. They serve you. Mindra serves you up an enormous breakfast with a couple of extra helpings for Dask and a wink on her way away from the table. You guys eat like horses. It's a good meal. There's a lot of other people eating in here also, although it looks like a lot of them that get up really early have beaten you to breakfast, but they're still shelling out the food, and they don't seem to be charging for it given the circumstances, which is interesting, but
that's good.
Yeah.
Makes some sense, perhaps.
All right, well, yeah. Heartily scarf that down and go find Niles.
Okay. You head over to the chapel. At the chapel, you are greeted by Solon, Acolyte Solon, the other acolyte that's there. There's probably 30 people that spent the night in the chapel. A few families and just some, older people that are here. They slept on the floor of the chapel. Solon says that Niles went downstairs. He hasn't come back up yet. He says you can wait for him, or what would you like to do?
I guess I will wait for him. Now you said that there was an image. There was a mural.
Yeah, there's a mural that depicts the hill.
I'm going to study that
hill.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, I was going to just describe it again. It depicts Bone Dust Hill. It depicts these standing stone sort of. They're not really pillars, and they're kind of rough stones, but one of them is much larger than the others. Up on the crest of the hill, there's a priest standing amongst them, kneeling amongst them with his hand on the ground. And coming up the side of the hill is a long train of knights and other priests and acolytes carrying, priests and monks, it looks like, basically, carrying white shrouded bodies from the battle. And the tapestry depicts many of those bodies kind of lined up at the base of the hill. Anything else specific you're looking for in it, or?
Well, Mindra, how much knowledge do you have about this battle that occurred here?
Yeah, Theta, you mean? Is that who you're trying to talk to?
Theta, wow.
Well, and Theta's not there. Just Solon is there with you guys.
All right, well, Solon, how much knowledge of this battle do you have? And I'm pointing to the mural.
Well, and just the basics, probably. I think it happened around 300 years ago or so. A lot of the Knights of the Order of the Sun died in the battle, but they weren't the only people there. Said that hill dwarves from the surrounding regions had joined them, and so had a lot of peasants and just kind of local farmers and people, maybe 500 or so of those, and then a contingent of wood elves, had also joined the battle under a prince. I think his name is Otterix, something like that. That's about all I know of it. I think that the head paladin of the Order of the Sun was killed there. So was his son. A lot of the leaders of that order were killed in the battle. And I know the name of the orc war chieftain was Grolix the Grimhammer, I think they called him, he says. And the orcs were sacrificed. At least the orcs that had been captured at the end of the battle, were sacrificed into the tomb itself to sanctify it, though, as I understand it, the elves had a problem with that and didn't want any of the orcs' bodies to be laid into the ground near their tombs, so they were left alone.
Well, I'm curious.
There were no orcs sacrificed on that portion.
I'm curious. Do you know if the war
You're
was started
curious?
over like genocide or was it territory? What sparked the battle in the first place?
No, every probably 50 years or 60 years, some war chieftain in the mountains to the north, some orcish war chieftain will gather a horde and the group of them come crashing out of the mountains, driving southward. It happens periodically. This happened to be a fairly large horde.
Okay. That's
There
all.
hasn't been one, at least that has come in this direction since the time of that battle. However,
Okay. I was just mirror. I was merely curious. Mirror.
well enough. Eventually, Niles does appear. He's carrying a backpack. He's looking pretty sheepish. He's got his holy symbol in his hand. His backpack looks a little overstuffed. He looks completely not ready. He's wearing some armor, which is good, and livery of his god over that. At sight of him, Solon goes over to the vestibule there near the entrance and grabs a shield and a mace and brings them over to Niles and gives them to him. Tells him something quietly. You pick up that maybe Theta had insisted that he take these items or something. So he grabs them up, though he doesn't seem to know how to wield them very well, and looks at you and takes a deep breath. Okay, I'm ready, he says.
Did you make sure to pack your wash basin in there?
Well, no, am I going to need it? He says, do you think I'll need it?
That and the kitchen sink. No, you won't need it.
You just see Oliver off to the side, just kind of laughing, just like, what the hell?
No, sorry, Niles, I'm sorry. I was poking fun at your expense. We're ready to go if you are, sir.
I think I'm ready. I brought a lantern. He starts kind of thinking out loud. I brought some food. I brought a whistle, some rope, my blanket. He says some healing potions. I think we should be good.
That's pretty well thought out.
By the size of his pack, you have to wonder how much rope he has. Your guys' ropes are tied to the outsides of your backpacks. His apparently is stuffed into his backpack, but whatever. Makes no difference.
All right.
He is dressed and ready. And the mace that they gave him is a pretty wicked looking thing. It's got spikes, kind of a flat, square head with spikes sticking off of the sides of it.
Nice. Well,
So
shall
the group of you,
we have Dask take the
Okay.
lead? I'm not I'm not going to be out front anymore.
Sure.
all right. Well, I can at least show you where this is going to roughly begin. We go to this map. Let me know when it's loaded for you.
It is.
Okay, so up to the top, toward the top of this map, you're going to be starting out about up here. Now, that red line represents where the thorn wall has grown in around the village. So heading over there, you stand sort of on the banks of the creek, and you see where they have drug down 3 or 4 wagons, used those to block the end of that tunnel as best they could. It is definitely a tunnel. Looking in there, it's still raining, of course. And in there, it's very dark. Gray skies up above, but the density of just the kind of thorns above the creek are heavy. You see water dripping down in there, so there's no escape from the rain inside this tunnel of thorns.
Okay. Are the carriages and stuff like still blocking off the entrance?
They are. They 3 wagons there with some other debris, just kind of, barrels and just anything, big rocks, stuff they can use to kind of stuff up, almost damming the end of the creek there. The water is escaping through, but it allows a couple of the villagers to stand up on the wagons there and, use pitchforks or spears to knock back any undead that come up. Now, well, the guys that are here all looking at you. Say, "Are you going to help us man this?" And they don't seem to know that you're headed up the creek, but they tell you that they've killed off 6 or somewhere between 6 and 8 skeletons that have come down the creek toward the wagons already that morning.
No, sir. Actually, we need you to let us through there and close it behind us.
You don't want to go up
He's
there,
good.
guy says. There have been a lot of undead coming down this.
I'm
Right. We don't
I'm
want to, but we need to.
I'm aware of that, and I'm a priest, so it's something I have to deal with.
All right, well, it's your death. I don't think we can move all this. Maybe you could climb over here. He shows you how to get into the back of one of the wagons and helps you guys over the side of it on the other side to move into the actual cavern there of the creek. You guys going to do that and head up?
Yep. Get Niles ready with the lantern.
Okay. Yep, Niles is right along with you. Okay. Group of you step into the cold creek and begin kind of marching up it. Now, right away, you can tell that there's going to be a couple of problems here, associated mostly with the fact that it's cold and stony along the creek. So moving isn't a real precise set of actions here. You're kind of stumbling along, and every 4th or 5th step, your foot slips off of a boulder, jams underneath another boulder, gets hit by the edge or the point of some boulder.
That's pleasant.
And it's obvious by the time you reach the first turn, and the light of the entryway is sort of diminishing behind you, that this is going to be a slog. So you slog along for about an hour, and in this sort of rough way, it's just kind of a rough way to walk. The thorns come right up to the edges of the creek. So you could occasionally, there'll be a big tree there that's covered in the thorns for the most part, but its roots will still be, it's right on the side of the creek. So its roots are sort of hanging out and over the creek a little bit. And occasionally you can go over there and sit down for a minute, pull your feet.
Oh, I think we're losing you.
Lost you.
Well,
Feet up out of the cold if you'd like. Hear me now?
There he is.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm still talking.
Yep.
I'm
lost
here.
you
I
for
swear
about-
I'm here.
we lost you for about half a minute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah, we heard the pull our feet out of the water a bit.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, that's basically all I'd said.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if you need to make a check for that. Yes. Okay, so first hour, it's not that big of an issue. By hour 2, trudging along this thing, and you've maybe moved 2 miles. This is slow. Literally a slog. Occasionally, the water will dip down, get a little deeper. The creek will get a little narrower. The water will get deeper, or you just find kind of a hole on accident, almost slip and fall. By hour 2, I'm going to need you guys to make a Constitution save. Just DC 10. It's a simple one.
Constitution save or check?
Save. This is just to see the shape of your feet.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, I should probably... We actually did rest for once, so I should probably act like I had a long rest in there somewhere.
Yeah, you did. You did have a long rest. So, oh, there you go. Dask, your feet are fine. Dask, are your boots listed in your equipment? Not so much for Oliver.
Probably not.
Well, it's
Common clothes is, and that's it. And my armor.
I'm going to say that you have a set of sort of those high boots that flare out at the top, up by your knees, kind of, and they are they're really good, and your feet are fine. I mean, you're also slipping on the stones and stuff, but and the water, they're not waterproof, but they're working well. Your feet are fine. You won't have to make that save again for your entire march up the creek. If you failed it, though,
nice.
you are going, unless you take a break for a couple of hours or for an hour or so, You're going to suffer a -2 to your initiative. And that you can tell by the kind of numbness and soreness of your feet, that's going to get worse.
What was the
If you
DC
don't
number?
take 10.
Okay.
So, Oliver, your feet are starting to hurt pretty badly. Let me check Niles, too.
Okay.
Well, Niles is fine as well. Apparently, his
Blessings of the gods.
that it put sandwich bags around his feet before she stuffed his feet in the boots, and he's fine. So, what are you guys going to do?
How are you feeling,
As
Oliver?
we're trudging along, yeah, I just, I think all that time spent meditating didn't take kindly to my feet, and he kind of picks one up and rubs at it a little. Just,
Okay.
mind
You
if we
take-
stop for a minute?
You
Sorry,
you guys take a break here on the creek then for a bit?
Yeah, for a minute.
Okay.
See if there's any
Or for an
suitable little.
There's some tree roots there, a couple of boulders sticking out of the water you're able to find and sit on. No problem. After about 10 minutes, nothing happens. You haven't encountered anything really in the creek yet, so no problem. Not long after that break, however, as you're moving up the creek, you begin to hear strange sort of chortling, growling, possibly chuckling sounds, many of them ahead of you. Does anyone have dark vision, and are you using light sources? It's not absolutely black in here. There's a
It's just
really
dim, yeah.
dark gray sort of light, but
I do have dark vision. Actually, I think most of us should, I believe, because Core here is a dwarf, and then what were you, Caleb?
I do have dark vision.
Oh, a human.
yeah, Niles and Dask are both human, so probably
Okay, so no dark vision.
no dark. Yeah, they don't have, but they don't. Strictly speaking, they can see pretty well around themselves. It's just dim, you know.
I was gonna say Niles did have the lantern that.
Oh,
Core
he
had
does.
mentioned that to him. Yeah.
Then I
so-
suppose he will light that at some point. So there's a nice glow of orange light around that lantern shining out for about 30 feet or so around him. But ahead of you, you can you hear that sort of chortling, chuckling, growling sound coming from many voices. Just go ahead and make me a quick insight check, DC 9.
Insight.
Yeah.
Alright. Not using any.
Oh
of
my
those
God.
Pluses in today,
Dude!
Not that it matters.
Unfortunately, I think you guys are spending. You're spending all those 20s. I'm worried for you. I don't know how many. I don't know how many of the gods of fate are going to allot you this game, and you just
that's
used
the
a
first
bunch of
good roll I've had in a while. So
crows. It sounds like crows or ravens.
uh-huh.
A lot of them.
Hmm.
And just up ahead, as you do you guys continue forward toward the sound, or?
I kind of stop for a moment. Oh, sounds like there's a lot of crows or ravens or something up there. Just be wary. Might be something dead. Might be something not quite dead enough.
Oliver, sorry, Oliver's not. Niles takes a sort of hesitant step backwards.
It's all right, Niles. It's just some birds. I'm going to just so I am completely ready to cast protection from evil onto Dask at a moment's notice.
Okay.
That's about it, though.
And you guys go ahead and go forward from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Just check. Make sure you're doing it. You head forward a little bit further, and ahead of you, you can see what look like a few masses of trees on either side of the creek, maybe 5 or 6 on each side of the creek. And here and there, their branches are still kind of jutting in through the canopy of thorn bushes that are arched over the creek. Water dripping down amongst them, and you can see the sort of smooth-sided, gleam of a lot of feathers, a lot of the ravens up in those trees. That there are a lot. I don't know if they flew in here overnight, if they were trapped here, how they've arrived there, but they're there and they're talking amongst themselves quite loudly. Just keep splashing on through.
Warily, yes.
As you
Yeah, definitely gonna be on the lookout there. Yeah.
As you get about within, I'd say 25 feet of these trees, a bunch of the ravens bust off of the branches and the rocks and the sides of the creek. And then that, of course, just spurs the whole thing. A cascade of these ravens on down the creek ahead of you just come flurrying out of the trees. They are suddenly heading toward you at like Mach 9. Black shapes just winging through the air. Everyone make me a dex save DC 10.
All right.
Another 20.
Next save, you said?
I did not
dex
make it.
save. Core? Oh, you don't. No.
Dask got a 20.
No, I didn't. That was my insight.
Oh my god. I
Oh,
rolled good.
damn.
I did get a 10 though.
Did you get a 10? I don't see it up there. Okay, so and Core didn't pass that.
Correct.
I'm seeing.
Yep.
Okay, so let me go for Niles. Check him quickly. He passes amazingly. Niles screams, turns and begins to go flying down the creek in the other direction. You lose sight of him as the ravens are just kind of beating all around him, flying past him, bouncing off the back of his head as he's trying to, flail his way down the creek. He eventually does fall to one knee, which stops him, which is good because he may have ran all the way back to the village. Those of you that pass the check remain standing. You're able to kind of, duck and weave. The crows aren't trying to hit you. They're just a mass of them. And if you failed it,
Oh, wait, no.
you crash to the ground, crash into the creek, become soaked. You're much colder after that. And the whole cloud of them just sails down the creek toward the village.
Oliver, do you mind drying me off?
He kind of chuckles for a moment, just, I got you. And he just casts prestidigitation a couple times to dry.
Oh, you're casting a spell. I thought you were going to pull out a towel and subserviently sort of mop him. That would have been funny. Okay, you soon enough that spell just steals the solves the problem for you. Even your feet are dry for a second till the water rushes back in, and then they're cold and wet again very swiftly. But at least the rest of you is moderately warmer than you were a second ago. Do you do the same for Niles?
Oh.
Yeah, he's still behind us. Just, Niles, you good back there? Do you need to be dried off it or anything?
What were those things? What were they? He seems confused, still panicking a little as you help him up.
Birds.
All right, it's just some birds. There's a lot of them, was all.
I think I killed one. You don't think he killed one. He probably didn't even see. He was running the other way too fast.
Well, good job, son.
Good job, Niles. That's what we expected from you. Okay. Yeah, you get him kind of straightened out, calmed down a bit, and the group of you head on up the creek a little further. Now, here and there, you come to a place where it's not exactly a waterfall, but just a small ledge. You'll find a ledge where the water's kind of coming down over that. You have to work your way up those ledges and along. Just past one such ledge, you see a couple of dark shapes ahead of you in the shadows of the tunnel. Their eyes are gleaming, staring straight towards you.
All right.
How big were they? Did you say?
The eyes are at about, I'd say they're about 5 foot, although they both raise up higher as you guys come into view there, maybe to about 6 foot, 6.5 foot off the ground.
Okay.
I'm going to tell Niles to look the other direction until we call for his help.
You see 2 more sets of eyes gleaming in Niles's lantern lights, and then a couple more
Oh,
And then a
fuck.
couple more drift into shape ahead of you. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
How close are they?
All right then.
And I'd say they're 40 feet away, 45 feet away, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, one second. I gotta finish this up real quick.
I'm
So I
looking.
just had a spell I was finishing.
No worries.
Okay, so we see how many total were there? About 6 or 8 or so.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe more. It's hard to tell. That's how many you've seen so far.
That's just how many we can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're gleaming eyes, and we don't know what they are. No sane person would be up this direction.
Now, Kent, the gleam of their eyes, by the way, is sort of a gray. It's not glowing any particular color.
Well, they already see us, obviously. Just to be on the safe side, I'm just gonna kind of call out. Just, are you living? Do you speak? Hello.
Many of the eyes blink, and a couple of them jerk back suddenly and disappear.
Ooh, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy and make my voice boom out real loud.
Oh, really?
Yep, just boom.
Oh, and thaumaturgy is a cantrip.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so no problem. You cast that without an issue, and all the eyes blink out. You hear splashing down the creek ahead, or up the creek ahead of you, as they run away from you up the creek.
All right.
Huh. All right.
You can hear a lot of it. Also, perhaps the soft sort of thump of hooves on stones under the creek.
That's what I was thinking. We ran a group of deer.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So the group of you then continue on, I guess. Is that right? Yes.
Yes.
I have to ask your permission. I'm not. Every step on this is your fault, not mine. So yes, you're going forward. Okay. You continue forward then along the creek for about another, I'd say 40 minutes, 45, 50 minutes or so, clomping along. You're now at about 4 hours into your journey. And you begin to hear that same sound again of the clumping, that hoof echoey kind of splash and thunk of hoof on stone coming back much faster, and a lot of it.
Press
And
up against the vines. Press up against the vines. Under the roots.
Is that what you do?
Under the roots. Under the roots. Under the roots.
Oh, well, I'll see if there's any trees in your immediate vicinity or not. We'll say that if I roll even on this, there will be trees. The higher the even number, the more presence of trees. Yeah, there are several trees along here, probably 4 or so.
Get under the roots. I'm dragging Niles with me.
Okay, group of you kind of rush over to the side. Niles panics. Oh my god, what's happening? He's yelling. It's yelling quite loudly. I was going to say it echoes, but it doesn't echo in here. The thorn vines have a way of kind of soaking the sound. Yeah. And whoosh, down it comes. It's good that you moved. Group of you get over near the roots, at least far enough that a whole herd of deer, the ones that don't notice you leap high into the air to sort of avoid you. And they just go flying down the creek past you. Now, make perception checks. Anybody that would like to. This is neither here nor there. You'd need I'm going to call it a DC 16 to be able to notice something here, but it's up to you.
I was going to try.
Okay, good
enough.
Oh my god. Once again, almost everyone but Core. Let's see how Niles does.
I'm going to have one shining game, all right?
Don't worry, Niles is right there with you. He has literally covered his face and is pushed it against the tree trunk so that he can't see what's happening. The deer go crash. Those Oliver and Dask, however, you notice that some of the deer are wounded, cut. They have slashes on their haunches or backs, and you both rolled pretty damn well. That 18 plus 2, does that mean it's a 20 technically?
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not giving me that. So you both have 20s on that check. I'm going to give you one more little piece of information that you both notice, and it seems a bit odd. The deer that are wounded, as they pass through the Niles' lantern light, you get the distinct impression that those deer are either old or they're just not in very good shape either. Like they're kind of gray, maybe. They look a little emaciated. But anyway, they're just there and gone in a flash. And in comparison to the other deer, they're in much rougher shape. It's not just the wounds that are on them. However, that said, those deer do not necessarily seem to be slower than the other deer.
Was it
maybe
just the deer that had wounds that were like this?
Yes, and there's like 3 or 4 of them. Each of you pick out, somewhere between 2 and 4 of these deer as they're rushing past. And yeah, every one that you see that's wounded is also just looks terrible.
Interesting. Once the herd finally passes, I kind of call it to the others. And did you guys notice those wounds too?
Wounds?
Some of the deer, they had some weird cuts on them, and I'm not sure if I just missed them or what, but it seemed like every one of them that was wounded is almost sickly.
Maybe we should go
I didn't
back.
look good.
Maybe we should go back now, Niall says. We've gone pretty far.
Oh, you want to go back and hug all the deers and birds back there?
No, I'm just.
Didn't
Do we
you
really have to do?
Didn't you hear him? Those deer seem sick. We can go back that way if you really think you can make it through them.
He looks back that way. You see him thinking. He just kind of looks back at you and, well, that'd kill me if I came back, I guess. And that's probably right. You take another break not too long after the deer incident. You dry your feet. You sit on some roots for a while and watch the creek go by in the lantern light.
Hold my feet up to the lantern.
Overhead, distantly, you hear a peal of thunder while you guys are resting. The rain is still coming down, and it's not raining on you, but the drips of it that are, it's hitting the top of the canopy of thorns and cycling its way down and dripping heavily down. So it's like you're in a very drippy tunnel. It's basically raining in the tunnel. You take your break, though, as best you can, and head back onto your feet and continue on.
Yeah, might as well. I mean,
eventually, yeah. Better to get there early and set up a base than too late with minimal whatever.
So about a half an hour or so plodding along past half an hour after the meeting the deer on their return trip, you reach a point in the creek where you begin to think, first of all, you're not sure what time it is. It seems to have grown a little darker. And secondly, there's something, again, you think standing in the water ahead of you. It's not moving, however, whatever it is. Kind of big. Okay, so I'm going to move you all to a map. As you guys continue, before I do this, do you continue forward toward whatever it is you're seeing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a wary look. I'm kind of looking at Cora when he moves forward, but yeah.
So discuss it and let me know.
I mean, we have 2 options: back or forward.
That's true. It's kind of a linear situation.
Yeah.
So you just continue to plot up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then warily, but yes.
Okay. So here's roughly what you're going to see. The map I'm moving you to, I want you all to position your figures toward the bottom of it.
Zoom out a little here. Too far.
And is that the correct width there?
So you are about the correct size because each square on this particular map should be, I believe, 2.5 feet. Yeah. Does that tell you that somehow?
Yeah, I was just measuring it.
Okay. Well, ahead of you, you see there are a couple of very large boulders in the creek. In front of one, this one here, there is something in the water. Perhaps a big tree branch or something sticking up there. You'd have to get a little closer to be able to see. Now, let me check something just briefly. I'm going to measure. Yeah, you're going to have to get closer to be able to see. You have to get within about 35 feet to have a clear view.
All right, I have an idea. I don't know how well this is going to go over, but I don't think there's really any friendlies other than livestock and animals out here. I'm going to go forward about 15 feet.
Go ahead.
Let's see.
That would be about there.
Okay.
About here.
And I am going to cast Sacred Flame right about there.
Where?
Right here.
Behind the boulder?
Yep. And it basically drops a little ball of fire. It's flame-like radiance. Here, I'll just... flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. Do I have to drop it on a creature, or can I just drop it to an area?
Descends on a creature that you can see within range. I think you'd have to put it on a creature.
Okay. So...
Yeah.
I can't distinctly make that thing out, can I?
No, not very well. It could just be a big branch.
All right.
Everything's a
I'm getting scared out.
Oh, I noticed that Niles is missing. Niles, of course, had already tried to go back just now. He ran off the map in the other direction. Let me see if I can find him. Why do these guys never show up when I'm looking for them? There they are.
He's so tiny.
I know. Little Niles. Now he's too big. Down here. Now he's too little again. It's like halfling Niles. I guess. There we go. Okay. He's definitely toward the back.
All right. I'm going to keep inching my way forward until I can kind of make that thing out and just cast Sacred Flame the moment I can make it out, if it's a creature.
Okay. Well, then you can all move up to about, say, here. Go ahead and move your tokens up that far. Niles very reluctantly follows you along. I don't know why I can't get his thing to match yours, but whatever. He is kind of portly, so it's fine. Up about there, you see that at first you think, yeah, it's definitely tree branches, but then you notice, oh, it's not tree branches. It's a deer antlers sticking up out of the water there. And not far from the deer antlers, you think you see over here in this tree root what looks like it probably is the carcass of a deer tangled up in these roots over here.
Now, does a carcass count as an animal? Like, can I cast my spell on it?
As a creature?
I mean, it is still technically a creature. It's both
It
a
is?
creature and an object.
I'm gonna give it to you on a technicality.
All right,
yes, you can guess.
So
what does that do?
It says, flame-like radiance descends on a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. The target gets no benefit from cover for this saving throw. And I imagine it's a little bit illuminated, so that was my big thing.
Okay, you're not in combat, so this is what level of spell is this first?
Thaumaturgy, cantrip.
Oh, it's cantrip. Okay. Then you cast a spell, no problem, and yep, it descends down onto the body of the deer. And does that cast light around that deer?
It doesn't say one way or the other. I just have the card, so I don't know if it says that in the bigger description or not.
And like radiance, I imagine there's some light coming off of it.
Okay. Well, for the moment, we'll just keep that in mind. There is definitely that casting light around it. The carcass is just floating, bobbing there. It is tangled up in the roots because it is really torn to ribbons. It's also very desiccated looking. You know how I described those wounded deer as being sort of gray, maybe
Yeah,
kind of.
actually. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I bring that up with the others. Like this kind of looks like how the other deer were, just a little more dead.
Yeah, it looks like it's hard to describe. Sickly, emaciated. It's got its color is all kind of drained. It's not that normal sort of tawny brown. It's definitely very gray and hoary looking. It's got kind of clumps of its fur falling off. It's just kind of shaggy and nasty looking. The carcass. Either it was a really old deer, or well, I guess it must have just been a really old deer. And by the size of the antlers sticking up in front of this boulder here, it might have been a really old deer. There's a huge antlers there.
All right. Something's draining the frickin' life force from these things.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah. Oh.
Niles shifts back. Stays a little as Niles kind of steps back. Oh, maybe we can't go on, he says.
We can always go on. We'll figure it out.
Doesn't it look like the path's blocked?
He sighs and stomps forward a little bit closer to Dask. All right. What's our plan?
Niles, just imagine a giant 10-foot theta slowly walking up the stream behind us coming to get you. Maybe that'll keep you going.
Everyone froze. Oh, there you are. You're back now slightly. I'm sorry. I missed what you said. What did you say?
I was telling Niles to imagine a giant 10-foot theta coming up the stream slowly towards him. Maybe that'll keep him moving in the right direction.
You see, he gets a grin at that. That would definitely keep me going the other direction.
All right.
What are you guys going to...
Dask, do you feel like prodding forward a little bit?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, Dask, go ahead and move yourself up. Okay. Dask just like out of hell with this and kind of stomps up forward through the crick. Dask, when you reach about where you just placed your figure at, those horns roll as if the current was about to take them, and then they stop and they roll back, and the whole thing, like they begin to rise up out of the crick. As they rise up, they're carrying sort of just debris from the thorn vines and things stuck to the horns themselves that sort of raise up around, or dripping down off those horns as it comes up out of the crick. A mist begins to boil up around it, and out of the mist forms, as the skull of the deer comes up out of there, sort of a shadowy, billowy form underneath it also begins to rise up out of the darkness, or out of the crick.
Could I cast something? Like just okay. Yeah, seeing this thing rise out of the water, I'm immediately going to cast Armor of Hekathis on myself. Just like, nope, not doing this.
You're casting armor on yourself? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That seems like the right move to make.
I'm going to be moving up behind Dask as soon as I can and casting protection from evil on him.
Okie dokie. I'll let you guys have a round of actions. What happened to Niles? Did he just disappear?
I think he ducked under the water and is trying to swim his way back.
I think Niles ran away. What the heck had happened there? He disappeared. He literally disappeared off of my map. Okay. I have to make a check for Niles. Hold on just a second here. See if he can handle this or not. It's a touch and go situation for Niles. Let me find his stats just a second. Sanity save, DC 10. Or not DC 10, it's DC 13. He made it. All right. Niles is you hear him like take a breath in, but he seems sort of stuck in position at the moment. So
all right.
What's up?
I cast protection from evil on Dask. Basically,
Okay.
it makes him immune to a bunch of shit. Or yeah, protection from evil and good. In this case, evil. I'm assuming. Grants him.
What does it do?
So, any enemy that tries to attack him gets disadvantage for the next 10 minutes. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Okay, let's see.
Well, creatures of
Cannot
those
be
types,
frightened.
so it would be an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend.
Gotcha.
Um,
Oh, and you'd get advantage if he was already under the effects of something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So, and Oliver, are you taking any action before we go to rounds? Break down into rounds.
I did the armor of Agathis.
Oh, and that's just on you, yeah.
Well, no, it's a spell I cast. It's up a little bit in the chat here. Protective
Oh,
magical
okay.
force surrounds you, manifesting as a spectral frost that covers you and your gear. You gain
Okay.
temporary hit points for the duration. And if something hits me, melee attacks me with while it's active, they take 5 cold damage. Warlock casts at their max level, so second slot. So it'd be 10 temporary hit points and 10 damage if it hits me with a melee.
Excellent.
Well played.
All right, I'm going to cast Bless.
By God,
Targeting.
you guys have gotten prepared for this one.
Dude, we've had our asses kicked so many times already since coming to this town.
All right. Well, you're still alive for the most part.
Oliver and I have
Been
both
that
died
bad.
twice.
Almost died.
Okay, I'm sorry. Been knocked
We were-
unconscious, bleeding out twice. And Feyre
we were
has been ripped
mostly
to
dead.
shreds.
No laugh at the reference? All right, fine.
What was your reference? I missed it.
I'm not
we were just
dead.
mostly dead.
Mostly. Just
Mostly.
mostly. Okay, well, by the looks of this thing, stuff could get hairy. So the first thing we're going to do is, Dask, you do not have to make this roll, but the rest of you need to make a sanity check for me. I already made Niles's, and he passed it. Now, you're not, all you're doing this for is this is the first time you've encountered something like this in your lives. The check is simple. It's not all that difficult. It's like a DC 11, but just to make sure that you're kind of on your game. If you should fail this check, you're going to be at a -2 to your initiative for the first round. Okay, so
Check
It's
or
not-
save?
ultra detriment. How would you like to look at it? As a save?
Well, I did
Okay, let's
cast
call it a
Bless, so if
save.
it's save, they get an extra D4.
Oh, excellent. Okay, yeah, then let's call it a save.
I got a 21.
This
That's
plus
pretty
the-
awesome.
to be more.
Finally.
Ah,
Oops.
well,
So, Oliver, you pulled a whopping 7. You're going to be a -2 on your initiative. And Niles already made the check. He passed. Dask doesn't have to. So, Oliver, you're the only one that's going to affect roll initiative. Hey, you're in business.
oh my god. Oh, I got a whopping 3.
Oh, I don't think I clicked on. I did click on my character.
Pog.
So
I thought you were
basically,
calling me a
the
name
way
for a
I'm
second.
flavoring this is my character's like, he's ready, he sees a beast kind of coming out of the water, so he casts Armor of Agathis, and then he just kind of sees it leer up at him, and he just kind of freezes from him. I'm like, oh.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Yep.
I'm ready?
You find yourself agreeing a little bit with Niles. Perhaps now's the time to run. This thing rises up out of the creek. It's dripping water from the horns still. Its eyes are gleaming sort of a golden glow about them, sort of seeping out of the eyes in all directions. It makes a hideous sort of, how to describe it, like an iron echo hiss. You know, like the hiss is high enough pitch that it has sort of an iron feel to it, an iron echo to it, and it sounds like it must be able to be heard, for miles around you. It puts a chill down you instantly, and the thing begins to sweep down. Well, it looks like it's going to be getting sweep towards you, but it is Core's turn. What are you going to do?
I am casting Guiding Bolt on it.
Dear God, and what does that do?
It does damage, and let's see here.
If the attack hits, it surrounds the creature with kind of like a golden glow almost. Grants advantage on the next attack made against it, and I believe does some d6s worth of damage. I believe.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you have to roll to target it or something?
I do. I'm trying to figure out what to click on to do that, though. But I get
to click on the name if it's set up right.
I don't have them typed into my thing, so I need to do that tonight before we get off. By the way.
Okay, yeah, we'll make sure that's done.
But I do have, I think, a grand total of +3 for my attack roll. So
Its armor class is a 13.
wouldn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's not going to cut it. Okay, well you're what are you carrying? A mace or warhammer? Is that what you have? Warhammer.
Warhammer.
You point the warhammer at it. The bolt erupts from the end of the warhammer, golden gleaming streak through the air. It lights up the tunnel of thorns as it streaks across toward the thing, but it misses it and glances off the side of that rock and splashes into the water where it dissipates. Next is Dask.
Well, I guess I'm going to move up on him to try and be the focus of his attention.
Okay. Now, given you've had a couple examples of how fast movement happens in the crick, when the crows went flying past you and you had to kind of dodge out of the way, you had to make that dex check, DC 10. I guess it was a save before. It will be a check this time. If you're engaged in melee combat in the crick, every round, if you're just going to make that dex check. Failing it will mean that you have fallen to one knee, something like that. Your movement rate for that round will be halved. You can still, stand back up and attack or whatever. It just means that you've slipped on the rocks and the kind of mossy rocks underneath, that sort of thing. So that changes what you'd like to do?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a plus?
Nope.
To that at all? But you are blessed, right?
He is blessed.
For saving throws and attacks.
Oh, if it was on attacks, yeah, not just simple
speaking of
movements.
which-
Okay, well, it's not going to hinder you much here anyway. You go trudging forward, basically you slip, fall down on one knee, get back up, pretty hurriedly and keep moving. It just limits your movement for the round. You're not going to be able to move further than 30 feet in the round, but that's still you got plenty of room to get to him. So,
All right. Hey, Court, what did you roll for your guiding bolt?
3.
Oh, so even with
It was 6
your
total.
modifier and a max D4 for bless, that would not
Wouldn't have it
be enough.
Yeah, it would have been 10 total.
Right.
okay,
I'm trying
go
to
ahead
be
and move
this
yourself up.
man's focus of attention and attack him.
Righty. So you're blessed currently, right? That gives you a plus, or it gives you advantage on your hitting.
No, it gives me a D4. Guiding bolt,
Oh, it
if
just
it had
gives you-
hit, would give an advantage on the next attack made on him.
Oh, I see. Oh, that would have been a good combination to pull off. Okay, well, go ahead.
I clicked on the wrong.
Armor class 13. I see. I told you guys you wasted all of your 20s.
Right. Plus
Dask,
another D4.
oh yeah. So total of
Big money, no
10?
whammies. Crap, 11.
11. Just under. You swing the warhammer at it. The thing sort of rears back away from you. The warhammer slices through some of the shadowy wisps that it leaves behind it as it drifts back. It's hissing again, that sort of ironclad sound that it makes. It echoes in your skull. the sound of it, but you miss on that. Then
Okay.
it's its turn. It lashes out at you with sort of a shadowy reach of what looks like a claw to some degree. Go ahead. I just got to see what its bonus is to hit. It has a +6 to hit.
1 second here. Dask, did you actually roll to hit, or did you just roll your Warhammer damage?
I rolled my
Rolled the hit.
Warhammer
That was
attack.
good.
Ah, okay.
He may have also rolled the damage with it, but then he added a D4 at the end for the bless.
Gotcha.
Oh, it sweeps like its arm out, but it's just kind of glaring at you, and it's going slow, like it's having more fun trying to intimidate you. Really, Dask, you take a free attack. It's moving slow enough that you can bring the Warhammer back in the other direction. It
Well-
botched. You get that.
Bonk.
Not a Warhammer, sadly a mace because I clicked on the wrong one last time.
Oh, it is a mace. Okay, this time you hit.
Awesome.
Do you get bonuses for bless to the damage, or?
No.
Just to the attack.
4 points. So. Okay. You do connect with it this time. The Warhammer goes through it still as if it weren't really there, but you do feel it like there is some sort of a pull there as you hit, and you notice a lot of the shadows go sweeping out after the Warhammer comes out the other side of the thing. And you can tell that you did hit it. It makes a screeching, that iron echoey screeching sound again. Now it is Oliver's turn. Oh, I didn't roll initiative for Niles. We'll say he's not acting this round. He's just scared and staring.
All right.
You may have to remind him periodically to take actions when he gets scared. So anyway, it's up to you, Oliver. Though, what are you going to do?
As much as I like blasting things, I'm actually gonna do. Yeah, actually, how far is that?
37.5 feet.
Ah, shoot. Okay, so I have to get a little bit closer. Not much, but just like. Oh, not backwards. What is that?
You are joining Niles here.
Run, Niles!
That should be close enough.
Niles, this beast is beyond you.
Yeah, so that should be good. I'm gonna cast Sapping Sting on it. It's a cantrip.
Okay.
Casting. Oh, it's wait. Why is it asking me what? I see. It's asking that. Okay. That do what it's supposed to? It does. Okay. So it has a.
You hit it.
It needs to make
It has to make a Constitution
to make
save.
a-
Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
What's the DC? Your spell DC?
16.
In this case.
Jesus.
16. Okay. It gets a +3 to this check. Or to this save. Sorry.
Ah.
That will not be
Glad
enough.
it didn't make it. So
Yeah, it doesn't. What happens?
in this case, let's see what it says here. That's the wrong spell. Sapping Sting. You sap the vitality of one creature you can see in range. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d4 necrotic damage, in this case 3, and falls prone.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, in a prone state, we have advantage on attacks against it.
So it knocks it down. Is that what you said? I missed some of that. You cut
Yeah.
out for just briefly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d4 necrotic damage and fall prone.
Fall
And I
prone.
was just saying, yeah.
I don't see anything preventing it from falling prone. Oh yeah, no, it can't. It's immune to being knocked prone. It does take the damage, however. It strikes it, it fails the save, but it is not knocked prone.
Right. It's a
It's
ghastly
ethereal.
form. It doesn't really have to. Yeah, I dirt
It's
for
some-
once. That's
It's okay. It's some form of wraith. You did do a little bit of damage to it, though. Okay.
I'm just blasting it this next time.
Next round, everyone roll initiative. I'm going to roll for Niles first, and then I'll roll for the beastie.
Why can't I click on my character? That's
Oh, that was you. That was you. I thought I got a 20 for a second.
Oh, it was me. I'm sorry. Oh my God, the beast going in at a 2.
Well, I did sap the vitality from it. It's a little stung now from that sapping sting.
Yeah,
It's-
maybe.
oh.
Honestly, maybe because that's the only thing I see that explains my terrible roll. Let me get Niles on the
other
list.
hand, his non-action last time just made him ready this time. So
Yeah, he's going on 20. Okay, so Niles is up first.
I'm trying to change mine to 4.12. There we go.
Well,
oh, did we get the same roll?
yeah, I got a 4-1-2, a 4-1, and a 4-1. So we'll have to sort that out in a minute.
Oh, did we all roll 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Niles feels emboldened, apparently. Or terrified.
Niles is terrified. He has his shield held up and is peeking over it. He's kind of crouched down and he slowly, carefully, so he doesn't fall, comes up right behind you. And that's where he seems to stop. You can't tell if he's apparently has no intention of getting closer than that to the thing. Maybe you can hear his teeth chattering. It's hard to say. Okay, and that brings us to Core.
All right. I am going to try to cast Guiding Bolt on that son of a bitch again.
You lower the hammer. There's a gleam of golden energy from the end of it.
Yay! So
Lights
16.
up the entire crick.
Let's see how much damage it does.
Was it 4d6 or something like that?
Yes, it is.
Ah.
Well,
Big boy damage.
yeah. That's the no messing around damage.
Oh my!
Unless you roll like that, then okay, you hit it this time. You see golden sparks shower off where you strike it. The thing screams that hideously loud sound again, iron echo in your ears. Sounds like it's happening in the center of your skull every time this thing makes that sound. And it is now Dask's turn. Dask, you see sparks spilling off the thing from something striking it.
Attacks with
I
advantage,
can
guys.
really see this man. Yeah, I'm swinging at him. With advantage.
Hey.
Well, that'll do. Okay, looks like 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Is that the total damage?
Yeah, I rolled a 1 for damage.
No.
I think it rolled the damage at an advantage as well, and it rolled 2 1s.
Well, you smack it anyway. Once again, you feel the mace grab some purchase in there, and you rip some of the shadows out of the thing on the other side. But the damage seems to be fairly minimal.
That's just not
The
used to
Wraith-
fighting something that's not solid. Just like, what?
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
The Wraith hauls off and tries to claw you again, Dask. Hopefully he can do better than he did last time. Well, hopefully not. Let's see. Oh, that's better.
Oof.
It hits you. Okay, you're going to take 21 necrotic damage.
Wasn't
You
it?
must succeed.
Wasn't it Oliver's turn?
Oh, right after Dask, yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. You just canceled my die roll and everything. Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll take my comeuppance. It is your turn, Oliver. Sorry, I did skip you.
Oh, it's all good. I honestly wasn't paying enough attention. That's my bad too.
Me either, apparently.
Well, seeing as the little mind or not mind spike, sorry, sapping sting didn't do much to it, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Like the good old days, blast it. That is
Eldritch
not how that was.
Blast,
Why
the
did
tried
that
and true.
do Sorry, not sure
Okay,
why it brought
roll.
up the spell card. That's supposed to be an attack. Not sure why.
Oh,
It
I see.
changed. My bad. Let me.
No worries.
Yeah, why did that? Odd. In any case.
Wow, that bless gave your spell save DC a plus D4 as well. Is that true? Must be.
Don't think.
I think that's the
so.
proficiency being all wonky because of
Yeah.
the D4
Yeah,
proficiency.
yep. So because our proficiency isn't a set number like 2, it's a D4, and I must have rolled a 4 on the save that time around last time. Or yeah, 12 plus D4. Yeah. Anyways, this should work properly this time. I'm not sure why it's as
Okay.
what changed? I swear I had all my spells in order here. Ranged force, attack, spellcasting ability, higher level casting.
Well, you can just eyeball it too. Roll the D20 and add your bonuses.
That should be fine. Let me just cast it at 0 here. That should cast normally. 17.
Boy,
wait,
you-
it didn't add my. Wow, yeah, hold on. Why is my character sheet so changed around? That is weird. Okay, so that's a 2 on the roll, but it also gets a +4, I believe, from my charisma there.
Okay, so 6 total.
Yeah, so 6 damage.
Okay. This works better. The Eldritch Blast hits it, purplish lightning flashing all around the thing. It screams again from taking the damage. Everybody's ears are ringing at this point. And okay, that was a hit. So now the thing is going to attack Dask. Boom. Oh, not quite as good as it did last time. It has a total of 20 for the score. It still hits.
Can I expend? How does the luck die work? I was
Do
given
you have
one.
luck die?
I
were
was
you?
given
Do
one
you
at
have
some
like
point.
lucky feet?
No.
So
Oh,
if you have a luck die, you can either use it to re-roll a roll you've already made, or you can use it to force me to re-roll a roll. Would you like to use it now?
Yes.
You got it.
Because 20 something necrotic damage is a lot.
So that's a
And it lived.
16. Does that and your AC is a 21 or
19.
what is your AC? 19. Okay. This time it streaks towards you. Do you have a shield, Dask?
I do.
You raise that in time. You hear its claws make a hideous sound scraping across the shield. Sort of, it rings, but not nearly as loudly as its screaming does, and it seems irate at the idea of not having hit you. That's the round, gentle folk. Let's go again. I'll roll Niles first, like I did last time. Niles
Oof.
going on a 1.
Why? When's the last time I rolled well with initiative?
No.
I don't remember a roll above like 6 in so long.
Ugh.
Holy cow. Gonna be a rough round. And is that everyone? Yeah. So it goes on a bonus. Yeah. 10.
Well, Dask first.
What's that?
At least Dask is going first.
Yes. And he's close to it as well. Niles at the rear. Okay, Dask, you're up.
I'm going to swing my mace again. That's not a great roll.
Oh.
No, not particularly. You swing wildly. You swing back at it again. Miss this time. Your mace slices through the air near it, but it's a miss. And it answers in kind, strikes back at you. So 12 plus 6 is an 18. Scrapes your armor, but does not affect you. However, where its claws do scrape across your, let's say, probably across the chest portions of your armor. What kind of armor are you wearing specifically?
Chainmail.
Chainmail, yeah, then you feel it as well. It gets icy cold. The scrape on the chainmail leaves frost up and down in sort of streaks away from where the claws hit. Thing screams in rage again.
Also, that thing is still at disadvantage to attack Dask too.
Oh, it is.
Protection from good and or from evil and good lasts for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
forgot
against.
about. We've
Yeah, totally. I will keep up with that from now on. So he misses by even worse. Fair enough. That's good.
we've forgotten about that.
All right.
last time, too.
So yeah, I did specifically. You got to remind me. Core, it's your turn.
All right. Do I have anything that is really gonna? I am going to. Let's see how far is that. I'm gonna have to make a dex check. Is what I'm gonna have to do.
It's within enough range that even if you fall or slip, you'll still be able to reach it.
Okay. That way, it's kind of. I'm not getting that damn close. Okay.
Roll your dex check.
Yep.
Oh, and I forgot to make Dask roll at the beginning of the round. Anybody that's in melee combat has to roll that. Very good. No problem. You fly up there with no problem at all. You still have, half your movement rate.
All right, and
but you close into melee.
okay, and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and attack, and then use divine inspiration for another attack. I can do that once per day, so.
You're gonna do what? I missed some of that.
I'm gonna attack, and then if it's not dead, use divine inspiration. It's a war thing, and I can make an extra attack as a bonus action.
A bonus action? Is that
Yep.
what you said? Okay. Will that be another attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna make.
Action. Is that what you
Yes.
want to
Yep.
do? Okay.
So let's
Fair
go ahead
enough.
and make this
Make
attack.
the first one. Hey, there you go. Wow.
2 damage.
That's a hit. Well, yeah. It all kind of
No,
loses
no.
steam on that. Now,
Well, no, hold
You-
on, hold on. It didn't roll your.
Yeah.
It didn't roll your damage. It only gave you the strength modifier.
Oh, all right. So yeah, let's go ahead and
Rolled the damage die on that.
it won't let me. That's a pain in the ass.
I'll write down things we have to fix, so after the game we can just start going through them.
Right. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
Start a list here.
I'm going to give you a little boost on experience for that. Remind me when we do XP next time.
So Warhammer damage needs to be fixed.
So it didn't roll it again.
Nope.
Okay, so I just have to roll 2d4 plus 2. So 6 plus 2,
That's
so
better.
8 damage for the first one, and then we'll do another attack.
And this is just a
2d4 for.
standard attack, right? There's nothing else wonky going on with this.
Nope, it's at first level. I get this kind of these divine inspiration moments where I can make a second attack in one round. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
What's
I got you. I'm just seeing if there's any magical or blessed element to your attacks that would make a difference, because he's not receiving full damage, of course. So you got an 8. Some of that got through.
Okay, so 18. And then 2d4 plus 2. Huh? So another
Wait, I don't
8
think that
damage.
was an 18.
4 plus 4, 14 plus 4? Because we're
No,
blessed.
No, that was your
You
first
rolled-
attack.
You rolled 3 times for the attack.
Okay, so we're gonna back out of this for just a second. I want you to roll the attack again. I only saw one roll and it was a 6, and it didn't come up on my screen. So try again. We'll see.
Okay. Trying again.
That looks like a 16 to me. That's a hit. Does it? Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And then 2d4
That's
plus 2. So So 6.
6. Okay. You come up, you
Aye.
chop it twice. Are you using Warhammer or a
Yeah, it's a Warhammer. It's a Warhammer
it's
plus
Warhammer.
1.
Okay, yeah. +1, did you say?
Yeah, masterwork, not magical.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Okay, yeah, you hit it both times. You see the trail of sort of that misty blackness, that the inky kind of blackness it's made of, kind of sweep out past both times. The thing's gleaming, kind of heartless golden eyes turn on you. You see the gold dripping down off of the skull, basically, and then dissipating into the air. Next up is going to be Oliver.
Same as last time, I suppose. I mean, does it have? Yeah, no. I'm just gonna keep trying to blast it. See what happens. I
Eldritch
suppose.
Blast again. Okay, so
Ooh.
Holy shit.
well, that'll do.
That's
Now, it's I'm glad you hit it, but so when you're using a directional spell, if you miss, for instance, you just blasted that between core and Dask. If you had missed, if you had been shooting an arrow and you had missed by 5 or more, I would have made you roll again to hit them. And I believe I'm going to have that stand for anything that's directed that way. The spell, just because if you roll and miss with a directional spell and you're shooting through your companions like you are here,
Yeah.
you're kind of
I got
basically
you.
taking that shot. I'm going to make you roll. If you miss, we'll choose which one at random, and then you'll roll. If you miss it, shoots past them or something. But if you hit, you'll clobber them. All right. In this case, you don't have to worry about it. And a purplish bolt of electricity sort of sizzles through the air, strikes this thing, and bursts all over him. He screams. Damage is 14. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep.
That is a serious damage roll. That's a serious hit. Okay, the thing screams, sort of floats in the air a little higher. It's both of its what approximate arms sort of streak out into the air beside it. Its eyes gleam painfully golden. It's bright to look at. Thing does not seem happy. Niles sloshes over and gets behind you. It's his action. Let's roll initiative. I hope you win initiative this round. I'm going to roll for Niles first. Niles, he stays right where he's at.
Woo!
Core, good run, good roll. Oliver comes in mid-range. Dask, did you roll? Oh my gosh, Dask cleared 19 on that. Okay. And I'll roll for the Wraith. As soon as I get you guys kind of in order here.
And that one.
Oh,
There we go. That's a 20. That's a 23. No.
22.
No, +3. Sorry, 22.
Damn.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. It has 2 options for opponents. Even, it attacks core. Odd, it attacks Dask. It is odd.
Would there be a chance?
What's that?
I was gonna say, is there a chance they would try to attack me since I just blasted it with 14
Michael,
points
shut
of
up.
damage? Or
It would, but it's engaged, and it's most furious where it's at. Also, gotta figure this is a cleric of the sun god and a paladin of the sun god. Pretty much its primary enemies. Even if there were 6 other people to choose from, I think I would only roll for these 2. So it is attacking Dask, and it takes a mighty swing with its disadvantage. Here's the first roll. Oh, I could have rolled 2. I'm sorry, I didn't. That's probably what it's going to get stuck with, huh? And here's its second. Okay. Took it forever to roll that. Okay. It misses you by far. Dask, you duck out of the way. You have your shield up, but it doesn't even come close to that. Its claws just rip through the air above you, and the thing shrieks in just complete rage and contempt. And it is your attack, Dask. You may take this attack with an advantage, Dask.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you can as well, Core. And not you as well, Oliver, if it gets to you.
All right.
Its AC is a 13, so that's a hit. Is that the correct damage?
Yes, and I'm going to use my Divine Smite.
Aha, there you go. How much do you do?
2d8 radiant damage.
Then roll it.
So 5 plus 2d8. Nice.
Blinded by the light.
So it's 7.
The thing screams its iron scream, hideous sounding thing at the top of its lungs. It just deafens you practically for the moment, and then it just implodes. The shadows streak into the middle and disappear. The skull slaps down into the water and rolls slightly as it catches on some rocks, and it is gone.
I'm going to smash the skull.
Pull it up and just whack it on the boulder, or just hit it with your hammer.
Yeah, I hit it with my hammer.
Yeah, you smash it
Hit
pretty
it with his
easily.
hammer on the boulder.
Roll to hit. Just kidding. You smash it. It's destroyed.
All right. In case it was some sort of anchor or something.
Yes, probably pretty smart. Oh, thank God. Niles is. Oh, you did well. You did very well. He comes sloshing up, congratulating you.
You too.
I protected the wizard.
I saw that. That was a good thing, Brave Mouse.
I kind of walk up with him and just, either of you hurt? Didn't look like it did much.
Luckily, because that thing probably could have taken us out in one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lucky. You made it through unscathed, which feels pretty good. And the
Fatality.
The thing being gone has lifted the temperature here just slightly. It's still cold, but it's not as cold as it was with the thing nearby. Those of you that have, let's see, Oliver, are you still covered in a frost?
For, well, how many rounds was that? Almost an hour. Almost the next hour, yeah.
Okay. So that all went pretty swimmingly. However, we did forget to make the dex checks that are due during melee combat. So don't worry about it this time. We'll worry about it next time.
Okay.
And you take a short break here, perhaps, on these rocks before you continue your slog?
Yeah.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Yep. Dry off the feet.
Take a little rest after
While you're doing that, resting, Niles says, we shouldn't be very far now. I don't think we're probably less than a mile, maybe a mile away from the hill. I would assume we've been slogging along here for quite a while.
Well, that's good to hear.
I think we'll be able to get out of the creek. My feet hurt.
Yeah.
So the
Same.
group of you sort of gather your things back up, put your tug and force your feet back into your wet boots, and begin to slog once again up the mossy rocks of the creek bed.
Wow, we actually had a battle that didn't kick our asses.
Correct.
It almost did.
You sort of ruled in it. So you figure it's probably past midday, but there isn't really any convenient place. I mean, there's the places you sit to stop, but you figure you might as well make this march before you attempt to eat or anything like that. So you're all getting a little hungry, but it's not going to affect you. You're just kind of wishing you had eaten more. You did have a good breakfast, I guess.
Stomach is rumbling a little bit.
Yes. Feeling a little hungry. Now, next map that I'm moving you to, I'd like you all once again to pull your figures onto the bottom of it. So just scroll down to the bottom of it. I'm not sure what you'll be able to see and what you won't be able to see on this map. So if we all come in and you're absolutely blind, just to let you know before we get to this map, if it comes in and you're blind, pull your figure over toward, place it somewhere along the bottom of that map, and click on your token, go into its tools, and set, those of you that have night vision, make sure you set the night vision on your token, okay?
All right.
That should open up your view a little bit. Also, I will place a, what did I say, 30-foot light around Niles because of his lantern. So here we go over to this map.
Okay, yeah, completely blind. So
If you're having a hard time with that, you can just wait till I get Niles on here, and then that should give you some light. Now, this map, you'll want to shrink your tokens down to the size of a square. This one's actually set to the grid for once.
I don't
we can't shrink
think
our
we can
tokens.
change the size of ours.
Okay, I'll
yeah.
do it. And if you have dark vision or night vision, go ahead and put that in.
Well,
Unless you need me, I can do that for you as well if you need me to.
I don't think that's something
I
we
was
can
gonna say,
actually
we
do.
have some token auras, but yeah.
Okay, I'll handle it. Which, let's see, who's gonna get it? Core, you're gonna get it, obviously. So
Cora and Oliver.
you're going to get your vision on. You're going to get night vision. You're going to get, how far is your night vision? 60 feet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 60 feet, and we'll set that as dimming. Dimming start at 10.
I think dark vision is, what was it? You see in dim light as if it were bright light, and dark as if it were dim light. And shoot, I forget the rules for it actually. I mean, flavor it however you will. I'm just trying to remember.
So Core, you should be able to see, correct?
Yep, I can.
And Oliver, are you you also have night vision?
Yes.
Okay, and that's going to be what range? 60 feet?
I do believe so.
Okay.
Question.
Should bring 2 of them in. Now let me get Niles' lantern on. That will bring Dask into the ability to see.
Yeah, that actually succeeds in making it feel dark and closed in. That's pretty good.
Let me see. Dask, are you able to see now?
No.
Maybe that didn't do anything. This little light on.
Okay, so yeah, I do. It is 60 feet, and oh, I can in fact see. I like that.
Kind of an odd view. Okay, how about now?
No.
You still can't see, huh? All right. That's really not supposed to be doing that. I'm going to set you with, oh, you know what? I know what's happening. I see it. Let me get you on here. How about now?
No.
Oh.
So
Okay. And now?
now I see stuff.
Okay, now you can see. So you should be. I'm gonna take a quick gander through your eyes, make sure that you're seeing the correct thing here. Sorry.
I see some
hold on
stuff
a
up
sec.
here too, if that's correct.
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
look like you
I'm
have.
seeing that too.
Doesn't look like you have a real great field of view, but enough, right?
For now, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, and I see what Caleb was talking about. We can see a portion of the map up here as well. Looks like 2 60-foot circles or so. 50? Somewhere like that.
Yeah, maybe. That's okay if you can. Let me get.
Okay.
Let me fix something on Niles here quickly, so I can make sure that what he's doing is working. Okay, is that any better? Should be a little better. Okay. So this is approximately then what you can see. You see the crick headed up ahead of you, but you hear something ahead. Sounds like the water rushing kind of heavily.
All
You
right.
guys want to continue on?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and move yourselves up to say that first turn in the crick, about where I'll put Niles here, and assume he's at the rear end of your column. Okay. You see ahead of you one of the large trees there in the creek, and you can distinctly hear the sound of falling water now. It's much louder. It sounds like it's directly ahead of you along the creek. Continue on another, say, 50, 60 feet or so.
Yeah. About up to here or so.
Cautiously.
Yeah, a little cautiously,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay. Put Niles there. The group of you continue. Okay. Well, you can't quite make it out yet, but you can definitely hear the sound of rushing water, and you can see that the water is more
Turbulent.
torpid, yeah, ahead of you.
All right. I'm going to cautiously approach the sound of the water.
I know where we're at now. Niall says we're just south of Bone Dust Hill. I know the step falls. He says there's 4 falls here.
Okay. Are they climbable?
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Only the top one is kind of tall, but the 3 below it aren't quite as tall. We'll have to figure out something. Get up with them.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and move forward another bit there.
Okay. Niles comes in behind you. You see ahead of you now the falls. At least you can see the bottom one. The thorn vines continue to arch over the top of the creek all the way up. I guess you can see the bottom 2. You can see this one as well. The bottom one looks to be about 5 feet tall, maybe. The second one that you can make out looks like it's about 3 feet, so a little easier to get up on top of that one.
Well, shall we give somebody a boost up there and then pull other people up with the rope?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and move up within about 10 feet of the bottom falls there. From here, you begin to hear something. Everyone make me a perception check. This is pretty loud with the sound of the falls, but you do hear something else.
Meh.
That was going to be a 20. I saw it. It was almost a 20.
Ignore that plus.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, even so, you still got a 22. I mean.
So, Oliver, you can make it out pretty much, but Dask, you have a fairly good sense of what you hear. You're hearing something splash around in the water. At least you heard it distinctly for a moment. It sounded like it was coming from up above the falls. It wasn't the sound of the falls. It was a distinct splash and then some kind of more splashing, and then it faded behind the sound of the falls. Now, these falls aren't raging falls. The creek is just sort of pouring over these drops. It's not making a whole great deal of sound. The kind of from where you're at, Oliver, you're able to glance up and make out that there is a larger fall at the top of this portion of the tunnel vines here, but little else after that.
I'm gonna address Niles and ask, is there fish in these waters?
I suppose. I don't like fish, he says. Then he looks down around him as if, God, he hadn't thought of that. Maybe they're all around him at the moment.
I kind of look over at Dask and just, why do you ask?
I think I heard something.
Right. Keep a lookout then. Keep the eyes up on the falls here. Make sure nothing comes down on us.
All right. Well, I'm going to
So how are we going to proceed?
Are there any roots or anything sticking out, or is it pretty much just thorns right up to the waterfall?
So Right over here, there's a small tree that's got some roots extended into the water, but you don't see trees along the sides of these step falls at all.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go up to the
At least
base.
not this lower portion.
Okay. I'll go up to the base
Now-
and offer anybody a boost up to the second little, or the first little step there.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, are the thorns are surrounding this, right? You said.
Yes, completely. Yeah.
Would we be able to use our rope to latch onto one of the thorns up above us, perhaps? Like if we tossed the rope up and like snagged it on something?
Oh, that's a pretty good question because some of the vines are thick, especially toward the ground level. They're very thick. It's possible if someone got up there, they could say not attach it to the arch of the vines over the creek is about 10 foot, and all of the vines that are arching over it, none of them look exceptionally thick. But someone could walk over, say here, and attach a rope to some of the thicker vine roots that are near the creek, and that would probably hold just fine.
Cool. All right. Well,
I don't
anybody?
mind going up.
All right. I'm going to offer.
Yes.
All right. Who's going up?
Who's going up?
I
That's
guess
what-
I
I
will.
was kind of looking between the two.
Okay, Dask, you step on the dwarf's shoulder and carry yourself up there. Just make me a strength check. Let's call it a DC 12, just because of the waterfall, adding a little bit of complexity there. Well, that'll do. Jesus, Dask basically lunges off of you and doesn't even use his hands. He just sinks a foot down up there, pulls himself up, and looks down at the rest of you.
All right. Let's.
I'm gonna.
I'll go tie a rope to here.
Over there. Okay.
Yeah.
That's no problem. You do that easily enough, easy squeezy. I'm not even going to make you make a check for it. You get the rope wrapped around a few times, slip a little wad of it underneath the others and pull the rope, throw it back over the edge of the falls there. The rest of you are able to grab that and use it to basically haul yourselves up. You can make the strength checks to get up. DC 12, you can have advantage because you have the rope.
Cool. Not that it matters, but yeah, there we go. 21.
That'll do.
I'm gonna
Okay,
offer.
and
I'm gonna offer a hand down to Oliver, or not to Oliver, to Niles as well.
to Niles.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see how Niles does. Yeah, he needs it. You grab him and you're able to heft him up and over the side. He sort of stumbles and almost falls backwards, but he gets up there.
All right.
Sloshes through the water here is a little more rapid, a little more turbid, and the pools are a little bit deeper on the upper side. So there's a little more current striking you to kind of move toward the next set of falls. Now it's 10:30. By tradition, we take a potty break at this time. If anybody is interested, I think we better. Let's try to stick to our schedule as best we can. It'll be 5 minutes and we will be back. Again, you're watching a playthrough of Night of the Sun, an adventure module from Mad Hermit Games, and it is available on RPG Net. All you got to do is go there and look for it, and we will be back in 5 minutes.
Yes, I can. I imagine there is a way. I haven't figured out what it is, so I'll be looking into that very soon. Okay, perfect. See you in 5. Ash is reporting for duty. We got hit by a raiding party while we were playing. So somebody who is doing Twitch and their followers or their viewers, people who are viewing it, came to our channel and just checked it out for a few. I guess viewers. Yeah. At least that's my assumption of it. I still don't know all the ins and outs, but yeah, I thought it was pretty damn cool. Popped up in our little chat window and I saw our viewer count spike. It didn't show me, I just got a little bar graph. So, probably only like 5 or 10 people or something like that, but still. I thought it was pretty damn cool too. Yeah, feel free to rate us anytime, guys. Yes. Yes, I can. If all right. That sounds awesome. Right? Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that for sure. Yeah, it's in our chat window. It says Swanold is raiding with a party of 5. Are you guys getting the storm up there too? Because Rachel's neck deep in it. Like her husband's stuck at work for the next 2 days, but he's getting paid triple overtime for it. So yeah, it comes out to $96 an hour for 36 hours. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yep. I can see clear up to here, actually.
Kind of down in the water just a bit. So the water is pouring out from under it and then coming down the 10-foot falls. So taken all together, you're looking at about 13 feet of climb there. You could, however, climb just to the top of that final falls, up here I'm talking about, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Dunk your heads under the water and go under the log, or you can climb over the log. However, it's a bit trickier. The log is wet, it's mossy, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the easiest action you've ever taken. Also,
seeing as this. Oh, go ahead.
no, you can go ahead and discuss it. Just before you do, though, I'd like everyone to make a perception check for me again. Let's call it DC 11. I'll make Niles's.
Oh, I'm still wrong with advantage. Whoops. Not like it matters.
I'll take a 20.
Nice.
How long does that?
Well, Core.
Yeah, Caleb, you need to get rid of that bless there.
Turned it off.
Well,
Okay, so
Just have
pretty
to-
much that means only Core. Core, you look up there and you see something move. You see it just briefly on the other side of the log. Sort of a shadow, but it's distinct enough. You pick it out and then it's gone, and you hear splashing right after it moves. So you're not entirely certain what it was, but you definitely hear something there.
We have company up there, guys, just so you know.
I have to
That's
make a
what-
roll. here. Okay.
did you catch what it was by chance?
Negative. Sorry.
So this next falls is actually an easier one. This one's only about 3 feet high. It shouldn't be too much of a problem to get up and over it. You just need to grab vines on the sides or something, kind of haul yourselves up. You can choose how you go up and over this one. You can make it as a dex check, or you can make it as a strength check to get up. If you fail this check, it doesn't mean that like you die or something. You're just gonna slip and fall. You know, you may fall down back at the bottom of the falls here, or you know, whatever, you get stuck halfway up, something like that. Unless you botch it, then maybe you'll come down on your head or something. But how often does that happen? That never happens. You'll be fine.
Funny.
So just strength or dex, not acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, no, you're right. You can definitely, you can use athletics. Yep. Definitely.
Awesome.
I forget about all those subjects. Okay, Dask, you are up and over, no problem. Oliver, up and over, no problem. Core, up and over, no problem. Anybody going to help Niles? He
Of
seems to be
course.
struggling. Okay, I'll give him advantage.
He
Yes,
needed
with
it.
help. He slips pretty hard even with help, but he makes it up and over. So you can go ahead and clump the rest of you up at the top of the falls here.
I'm wondering for the
Okay.
for the log at the top, would it be possible to throw a rope
Yes.
over it and let the current suck the end of the rope under it and through, and then we can like tie it together?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was actually about to bring it up before you did, but
I don't know if that's what you were thinking. That's a brilliant idea. I never considered that. I love that idea. That seems excellent. That will greatly enhance your ability to get up this that falls after this one. This one is about the same size as the bottom one, maybe about 5 foot tall or so. So it's going to take a bit more of a trick.
Okay, let's do the same thing
Again, you
as
can
we
make
did the first time.
athletics. Okay, so Dask up first, basically.
Yep, with a boost.
Dask, no problem. Once again, showing off. He basically launches himself off of your shoulder and lands on his feet at the top of the falls, stares around and looks at you all like poor creatures that you are, and goes over and ties the rope again.
Mindra's not here to impress, dude. Calm down.
Let's see. Get over to here. Hold on. No, that's right. I rolled that already. You're fine. You tie that, no problem. Drift the rope over the side. The rest of you can make your checks to get up athletics if you like. That seems to be a pretty good way to go with advantage for the rope. Core, you don't need it. You're up and over.
Come on.
There you go. Wow.
I took that
Dice.
rope and basically just like slungshot over the thing.
The dice are with you. You come up so well that you kind of cast a glance at Dask like, oh yeah, it's not that hard. Niles, on the other hand, grabs the rope and attempts to climb, and he does it. By God, he pulls himself in the water, but up and over on his own.
I give him a soft
And
punch
he
on the
looks
shoulder.
rather-
Like, yes, brother.
I'm going to assume he passed the lantern up to Oliver first, and Oliver, you pass it back to him. Assume.
Yep.
Okay, a group of you are under the larger falls. Here it falls with a little more force. The water's a bit deeper. It's maybe 3.5 feet, closing in on 4, perhaps. It's deep. You're practically swimming. Not really. You could if you wanted to. There at the base, we're going to attempt to throw the rope over.
I was gonna kind of look over at Daskin. Do you want to use your rope again, or do we want to keep that there and use mine?
Actually, trying to think, what is the condition of my rope?
Did you check it, or do you have it? You don't have that rolled out.
I do. It's currently a 23 out of a max of 97.
26 of 83 here.
So you have a really, really nice rope in pretty rough shape. Let's call it pretty rough shape. It's not really rough yet. It's just pretty rough. It's functional. That's 22 or 26, whatever you said it is. That's absolutely enough. You don't have to worry about how well an item functions until it starts to drift below 10 points of current quality.
Just want to hold one end and unravel it a bit, and have the rest of it coiled, and try to throw it over the log.
Try to throw it up and over there. Okay, we'll just make this as an attack roll without proficiency, but shouldn't be too tough. You get a few loops of it in one hand and just sort of try to wing it up there. Pretty easy. We'll say it's an armor class 10.
Am I adding any modifiers?
Yeah, you can add either your dex or your dex. Add dex to it.
Awesome. So 0.
I feel that.
But hey, that works.
That'll do. You throw it up and over. Pretty easy. And like a little magic trick, the bottom of it comes streaming out under the log and back down to you. You're able to grab both ends.
There,
you now have a...
Sorry, continue.
Yes. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, before we head up there, now that Dask and Core have both seen or heard something up there. Can I make another perception check to see if there's anything of note before we try making it over that log or under it?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. DC like 14,
Well,
which is what that'll do. So you don't hear any. Well, maybe you heard a splash. You can't tell, but it sounded a little further away from the log, so it's hard to say whether there's really anything there or not.
could have been a stray bit of water dripping, but fairly sure it wasn't quite natural in this case.
Something. It was something. It's hard to say what it was.
On my
Exactly.
notebook.
You found your notebook?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, let me
Shall we,
check spells real quick, see if-
I'm going to start knocking off that rope in like 3-foot sections so it makes it easier to climb.
Okay. And then
I kinda
the
look
plan
around
to
and-
just sort of grab the
Sorry.
rope and do a rappelling climb up the side there.
I
Feet
imagine
in the water. Basically.
Yeah, basically do a rappelling climb while somebody's holding on to the base of the rope down at the bottom so it doesn't get swung around by the current.
Well, somewhat. I'm sorry, I lost that.
While someone's holding onto the
Okay.
rope at the bottom so it doesn't get lost in the current and get swept around while we're trying to climb.
Okay. Fair enough. Who's up first?
Oh, why break tradition?
All right.
Dask, you can have an additional +1 to this check. It's going to be, I think, since you're using the rope, let's just call it an athletics check. You get an additional +1 and advantage because you're using the rope. DC of 13. It's a little bit of a harder climb with a little bit more current.
I think gotta have that advantage.
Yes. Hopefully it'll come in higher. A little higher. All right, Dask.
Made it 13. 11 plus 1 plus an
Oh,
additional.
because you get that additional +1. Is that right?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. You do it. You almost slipped at one point, but you managed to maintain a hold on the rope, pull yourself, step after step, pulling yourself up the rope to the tree, able to grab a hold of a broken branch on that tree and kind of pull yourself up to it and then up kind of toward the top of it. You get a glance over it. Now, ahead of you, you can see gray light all around this area of it's almost like a tiny lake, kind of a pool of water, where the water is just sort of pooled here before it goes down the step falls. It seems to be a little bit deeper, but you can't tell quite how deep. Anyway, it's not the first thing your eyes catch to, however. The first thing your eyes catch to are the figures moving around in the water. They have swords and spears. They're skeletons, and they appear to be stabbing at something in the water, possibly fish. They apparently very happy about it because they're all grinning just very widely while they stab down in there.
Can a skeleton grin?
Actually, better question is,
Oh, hold on. Are you able to see those critters?
yep, 4 of them so far.
Okay, good. Just making sure you can see them. There are 4. There's only 4. And they're all over there by that tree. And not paying attention to you at the moment, Dask. What are you going to do? However, seeing them, Dask, really highlights for you the fact that lantern behind you is backlighting you. They just haven't noticed yet.
Am I on top of the log now, or am I still kind of like hanging off the side of it?
You're kind of, you're kind of hanging off the side of it. I don't want to push you up onto the top of the log or force you to be up there if that's not where you want to be. You're hanging off the side. It'd be no problem though to slide yourself up and over it if you want.
I think I'm a try and duck my head down and try and like obscure myself from their sight, and I'm gonna look down at everyone else and I'm just gonna like put like my finger to my lips and just be like shh, and I gesture towards the
Okay.
Niles with the lantern and try and get him to turn it off.
Okay, you have it. You're realizing you need to have a signal for that for sure. But you do, point emphatically at the lantern and make a, slash at the throat with your bent hand to kind of like ixnay on the light A.
All right,
So-
yeah, I'm gonna try and get Niles to shut the light off too.
Okay, Niles staring up at Dask and not quite understanding what he's saying until he sees you, like, you whisper at him, put out the lantern. He quickly folds in this. Well, guess he just turns the little knob at the bottom there and it goes out. I'm not going to replace that on him at the moment, just so that we can keep that light barrier around you guys. But the torch or the lantern is out.
Okay. Very quietly telling Oliver that I think we should send up Niles next because he probably can't see shit. But Oliver and I can see, so let's send up Niles up next.
Now you can see, like I said, the thorn vines do not cover this pool. They extend, like, you should be able to see the lighter area up here. You can
Yeah, I
see the
can.
whole pool, I'm assuming. And you see the shadowy parts. Are you able to see, like, over here, these kind of shadowy parts of the pool?
Yeah.
That's just the shadow from the vines growing up over them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
much of the
Yeah, so
pool
we can
is
see
visible.
from about there.
Yeah, that's about right. So you have a pretty good view of the pool because the vines over it are, just open. It's just an opening to the air there. The rain is falling through here, but just not as distinctly or kind of morosely as it does inside the vine tunnel. Nonetheless, those skeletons are all doing their thing. What else are we going to do, folks?
All right, Oliver, you want to go next?
Did we already send Niles up, or?
No, Niles is down here trying to figure out why you made him
Yeah.
turn off his lantern.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and send Niles up. We'll send Niles up.
But if he sees the creatures without knowing that they're there,
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking. So how about you next?
Dask,
yeah,
it seems that there's some conversations and confusion below you as they are trying to figure out who should go. Finally, Oliver comes over, grips the rope, and starts to haul himself up. Make the athletics check. You can have advantage because of the rope.
Now, could I technically use dexterity on this, or is it specifically strength based?
Oh, no. I'll let you choose. I think climbing styles really kind of depends on the person to a degree. The nice thing about this kind of climbing, where you have your feet braced on a surface and you're holding a rope, people do it in different ways. And yeah, so the short answer is yes. Go ahead. You can make it as a dex check.
I have a -1 to strength.
Oh,
Well,
I saw that. Oh, it still counted as an 18 though. Oh.
what?
Oh, because it got knocked over. Okay, so it landed on 18, but then got knocked over, but still counted as an 18.
Oh, I don't know how many times I've seen it land on a 20 and get knocked over to a 2, and it's the 2 that stands. But nope.
Right.
Okay, in your case, you've made it through.
The dice gods have spoken.
Again, it's nice to know that they're at work even on roll20. All right, so yes, your footsteps pretty good at one point, and you think, oh, thank God I have a rope, and up you go the rest of the way, bringing you approximately here or so up on when you pull yourself up onto the log. Like Dask, before you have a view and you quickly duck your head down. Core, what is your plan? Are you climbing?
Yep. We're going to be doing a strength check since I don't have actually athletics or anything.
Also, the water's you're a little shorter, so that water is just beating on you as you go up it. You're drenched.
Oh my God.
Absolutely drenched. Roll me a percentage. Let's see how far you made it up before you slip and then you have to make a strength check to hold the rope, or you can release it and fall back down if you want. Make it about halfway. So you get up about 5-6 feet or so, and the water is just crashing down on you. Basically sweeps your feet off of the rocks.
Why do I
And
drink this shit again?
make a strength check to hold that rope. Nope, you go down.
Sploosh.
Yeah, you sploosh into the bottom. Niles grabs you and fishes you up and out. You don't take any damage. At least you're falling a short distance into fairly deep water.
Yeah, I'm spluttering through a wet beard.
You come up exactly, sputtering through a wet beard and cussing. Niles is like,
just
That's
for
not-
position's sake, I just want to. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. For position's sake.
So I did make it up, but I'm basically gonna have scoot. Oh, what just happened?
What happened?
Sorry, my computer just kind of freaked out at me. Hello.
Oh.
Why is it not responding? That's cool.
I'm sorry, that's no excuse. You're still going to have to play.
Well, yeah, it's
We're not
completely
excused.
frozen right now, and I don't know why. There we go. I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. That was odd.
Solar flare.
Something.
Maybe. Anyways, so I did make it up, and I've basically just kind of straddled the log and staying low as I can, and just kind of take myself over here so that there's room for the others.
That's absolutely fine. You're able to pull that off without too much of a hitch.
Okay.
All right, now hold on. That splash happened. I need to make a roll.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that'll do. The splash happens, and all of the when Core falls off the rope, splashes down into the pool below. All of the skeletons' heads turn at once toward the falls. Now, luckily, you put out your thing, but they still rolled pretty well. They're standing motionless, all three of them staring at the log, grinning, it should be noted, but standing cold still in the pool. Their weapons
Stand.
dripping.
I'm going to stand so absolutely still on this log that they cannot perceive my movement.
It's fair enough. However, below you, Core is grabbing the rope and seems to be fixing to come up it again, and that rope is moving on the log slightly.
I'm going to take the hand closest to his side and just kind of point at him like, wait a moment. Like, just kind of...
Core, make me a perception check, perhaps an important one. See if you are able to
Perhaps.
key in on this.
Oh, good. Because my perception is awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a DC of 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could care less. You're like, God, the dwarf is cussing and mad that he fell down to begin with. He's grabbed the rope like he's going to kill it, and he begins to thrust his feet into the wall again. The water begins to, surge over him, and he tries to head up again.
Yep, I just rolled my strength check.
Oh, good enough. You make it. You did it even without advantage. Spluttering, coughing a little bit as you reach the top. You're victorious. You reach up and grab a hold of a large kind of broken branch there to grip yourself with. It cracks and breaks. They begin to move. They begin sloshing through the water as rapidly as they can toward the fallen log. So at this point, I'm going to have you all make an initiative roll. I'll do like I did before. My first one will be for Niles always, and the last initiative I roll will be for your opponents. Just so we can see where people are in this.
Wow.
Yeah, as the dwarf keeps climbing, Oliver just kind of face palms, just like, well.
Here's Niles. That'll do, Niles. It's pretty good. Although I don't know what he's going to do. I guess he's going to grab the rope and attempt it himself, probably.
How far is this log above the pool? Just like a few feet, or?
Yeah, so it's basically resting, not like perfectly on the surface, but actually under the surface by about half a foot or so. So the water in front of it is kind of billowing there.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not spilling over. The log is fairly large. It's spilling under it, but it's gathered there a little bit. It's a little thicker there in front of the log, but it isn't coming
little bit
over
of
the top
undertow.
of it.
Okay.
Niles has grabbed the rope. He seems to be trying to think about going up. Did everyone's initiatives come in on the scoreboard here correctly? Because Dask
Yes.
has a
Yeah.
13, but it's showing a 19.
Oh, well, it shows 13 for me.
It shows 13 for me
Yeah.
as well.
Shows Niles
Might
with
just
an
need to
18.
reload the page.
Maybe I needed to reset it or something. I'm going to clear it, and then I'll just manually, or we'll just play it off of the scoreboard over here for the moment. I'll get it labeled correctly for us.
Oh yeah, gonna have to roll again, aren't we?
No, you don't have to roll again. You can keep your
Well,
initiatives. So
I mean, to get our token back up there.
Oh yes, yeah, you will. Go ahead and roll initiative again to put your token on the board, and I will adjust it to your old scores.
Oh, I'll take that one.
No, you won't. So
I believe we
5.
can change our own scores too, because I was able
Oh,
to.
yeah, then go ahead and do that for me. That would be convenient. Speed things up a little bit. While you're doing that, I'm going to make Niles' strength check to climb. Does get advantage.
And I'm going to try to help him if he needs it. Yay!
He manages it. You grab sort of the back of his collar as he's come spluttering up out of the water, drag him to the top here. He gasps as he looks over the log and sees the skeletons coming. I'll roll their initiative now. That's not as impressive as I would have liked. They're going on a 10. Okay, so that puts Oliver first, Dask second.
Oh shit.
Skeletons. What did Niles get? Oh, I didn't roll his initiative, did I?
Was it not the 8 there?
No, I let him
No,
act.
No, I think he got like 18 on his initiative, which
Yes.
is why I was going first.
Well,
Yep.
technically, he should have been climbing in that round, so I'm not going to include him in this display of initiatives. That's kind of his climbing was his action in this round. So,
Right.
starting with Oliver, what would you like to do?
After I'm done face palming at the swearing dwarf over here, I'm just gonna try and take out the
What?
closest skeleton. Yeah, I could do that. So I'm just gonna blast it, try and take them out before they get to us.
Okay, dokie.
Oh, there we go. 16 for
That's
9
it.
damage.
Yeah, their AC is a 13. How much? 9?
So I just, yep.
And you did it this one right here?
Yeah, the closest one.
Gotcha. Okay. The electric blue sparks fly out of your hands, sizzle across the air, strike that thing, spread across him. He sort of jolts. Maybe he's enjoying it. He's smiling the whole time. And now it is Dask's turn.
How deep does the water look right on the other
So-
side of the log?
You see them slopping through it, and it looks like it's about 3 foot on the other side of the log. Possibly it gets deeper toward the middle.
All right, I'll hop off the log into the water
Okay.
and
Jump.
I'll move like there,
Sounds good.
there, a little out of the way.
Draw your weapons.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself and
Okay.
try and draw the skeleton's attention.
And what's the effect of that spell?
Just +2 to AC.
But is it what's the idea of it? What's it doing? Is it putting a glow on you? Is there sort of a it's
The
from the
shimmering
sun
field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it bonus AC.
I see. Okay, perfect. So in your case, because it's the sun god, this would be a sort of bright, glowing, yellowish sort of gleam, sunlight gleam that you get. Nice. It's perfect. Okay, your AC is 2 better, and it does seem to draw all the eyes, as far as you can tell. At least the heads turn that way. The hollow sockets of their bony skulls don't reveal
Medium
anything on
sparkly.
that. And they are grinning at you for the moment, and they go. So this one comes slomping through up to you with a sword. This one also slomping up with a sword.
First one possibly looking a little charred from the electricity there.
Let me check the distance here. Yeah, he can get there. Then I got to get the right pointer again. Okay, sorry. This one also rushes in there, and this one I'm going to go past a little bit toward the log. Okay, so, or he's trying to come around behind you, something like that. I'll slop over. 3 of them are going to take attacks on you. What's your AC, Dask?
21.
Not
21.
not a bad AC. They get a +4. So that's a 15. It's a miss. Next one attacks you with a spear. 14 + 4 is an 18. That misses as well. And the last one. Can't see what it is. That come up at 10? 10,
I rolled
okay.
a 10. Yeah.
Okay, they all miss you. You block 2 of them easily, duck out of the way of the third. It is now Kor's turn.
All right. I am going to cast Shatter, and at this point of origin. So,
Holy
see.
Corona. That could cause some damage.
Yep.
To skeletons, that's going to cause direct damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's see. I don't know if I actually have to roll to do that or if it's just automatic. I imagine anything that's not touches, you have to roll for it, though, correct?
That's
That is Shatter. Let's see. A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a Constitution saving throw. Takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. Creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage on this throw. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll
3
be.
die. Gosh, 3 die 8 thunder damage. That is impressive. Okay, so they'll make their cons. Well, wait a minute. A failed save. Half as much. So if they succeed, they take half of the damage. You can go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay, so how much was the damage? 3d8?
3 die 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, is that damage all across the board or for each creature?
It's for
Creature
each.
takes
That'll
3d8.
that'll be each creature. And what is your spell save DC? I need to know that.
I believe it's a 12. I don't have it written down.
It's approximate. What level are you?
3.
Might be a little higher than 12. Just
Well, what's your spellcasting ability modifier?
1.
1? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I am not the wisest cleric. So what is it? 1 for each level and then 1 for the modifier. So yeah, 12 because it starts at 8. So +4, so 12.
It's a 2nd level spell, so you'll need to roll to cast it. It's a DC 10.
And I'm rolling my wisdom, correct?
Yes.
Wisdom.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Crap.
You made, yeah, I think you got a +1, don't you?
Yep.
Yep, you
Yeah,
make it. You just make it. The spell just manages to go off. You see just the tiniest little spark of golden light there next to them, and just a resounding crash, an extremely loud crash. It rocks those 3 that are right there. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Okay, so for the first one, 12.
12 damage. He'll make his con save. He has to make a Jesus die. Bring me the thing. Hold on. Having trouble with my dice.
Okay. So for
They
the
get a-
spell save DC, have we done that yet or figured it out?
Yeah, I think it was a 12. So, but this guy fails it, so he takes the full damage.
I was gonna say it is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your spell casting modifier.
Okay. So it'd
So
come
it'd
out
be-
to.
So just for future reference.
10, 11.
So it'd be 11. Yep. I thought it also
11.
counted your levels too, but I guess I was wrong.
No.
Doesn't matter. So that first one takes 12 damage. Okay, next one.
Well, I think it uses the same damage roll for each one, but
Oh,
That's
just
a
roll.
lot of damage.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let him roll it separately for each one. It's fine. It doesn't make
Okay.
that big of a difference to me. I'll just make
I
you
was-
check.
Yeah.
Do I get a +2 to this? So he saves. So he takes half of that, which is 11.
10.
I'll round you in 11. Okay, and you see bones break, cracks form across the bones as this is going off, and this guy takes 9. Here's the save.
Manages to make the vines echo back a little bit of the sound.
Oh yeah, he's fine.
Oh.
That one takes no damage. Somehow he's
He drank
preserved.
his milk.
Apparently, however, that shattering sound causes a disturbance in the water somewhere over around here.
Okay.
Several disturbances in the water.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Okay. No, but we're still in this round. That's Core's attack. Niles has this round drags himself up there next to you and then does his gasp as he sees the skeletons on the other side.
That was a cute
Okay.
gasp.
Oh, thank you. I worked on that one. I practice. Let's go ahead and roll initiative for the following round.
I realized that Shield of Faith is a bonus action cast.
Oh, is it? You could have done something else.
Yeah. Big sad.
Well, Niles is beating for Boogie here. He's going very fast. So is Core.
4 with the 20. Wait, what did Niles get? I thought he got a 4. At least that's what's showing on my screen.
Oh, dang it. It's not updating the scores again, so you'll have to go ahead and press them in there. I don't know why it's not doing that. Good.
Looks like the 3 of us got ours, at least on my screen.
Yeah, I didn't have my character clicked for some reason.
Oh, for the old mistake. I'll roll for this.
Yours is updated.
Skeletons. They're going on I believe they get a +2, so 17. Okay, so the Core, the skeleton. Oh, sorry, not Core, Niles, the skeletons, and then Dask and Oliver basically simultaneously.
Wait, what? How did Niles get a 21? Either
He
I'm not
rolled-
seeing it or...
He rolled a natural 20. If you roll a natural 20, you get to add another 1 to the score.
Well, I mean, because I know you rolled the nat 20 for the saving throw for the one skeleton, but then below that is a 4 for the roll.
Oh, is that what he rolled? You see, sometimes I can't see the dice they roll behind your guys' character portraits down here in the bottom, and so I just go by the score I see, and I thought that was my roll, but maybe I'm wrong. If you believe it's a 4,
No,
it's
you're wrong.
9.
It's
No,
in the
it's
chat
fine.
window.
Yeah, it's right there. And Niles is not, it's not like I need to argue about what Niles is going to do, because he's probably just going to cower there behind the log. Because you know Niles.
I just
Okay.
figured I'd bring it up to them.
No, I'm fine. Thank you for doing that. Core, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to move here, and I'm going to cast Thunder Wave in front of me.
Oh,
It is
so
a 15-foot
like-
cube that originates from me, so the 9 squares in front of me get hit by it.
so your facing then would be this way,
Correct.
and it's a cube.
Yep. So
I mean, covers like from this. Oh God, I got the wrong
covers
pointer.
15 feet on each side.
yep. So
Or
it covers
yeah, 15 foot.
basically it covers from that line to over here, and then all the way to up here. So it would hit these 3.
I see. So everything from like in here to here in a square. If I remember right.
Basically, yeah.
So that, yep, gets the same 3 that were affected by
There we
your
go.
shatter spell. That's good. Okay. Excellent use of that. Let's start then with the one closest to you.
Okay. And it's 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from me. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and is not pushed.
What save does it have to make?
The same, 11.
Okay.
So
There's a
This is just
crashing peal
what
of
kind
thunder
save?
ahead of you. He fails,
Constitution.
is basically knocked back away from you.
let's go ahead.
Because of the water, I'm going to, well, nah, I'll let it stand. He's forced stumbling back through the water rather rapidly. Let's go with this guy.
Okay, that first guy took 13 damage as well, by the way.
Oh God, he failed that save hideously. He's dead. He shatters apart in the thunder wave. So I didn't have to worry about him going anywhere. He's a goner.
The bones flew back there.
Yep. I was just about to say that.
Okay,
The bones just kind of.
this
Second.
guy here,
5 damage.
5 damage. His saving throw. He saves, so he takes. He isn't moved if he saves. Is that correct?
Correct.
But he takes half damage.
Yep.
That's enough to kill him based on the shatter you did to him last round. So he also just falls like a bunch of tinkling bones into the water, which he is. And then
Last
this
guy.
guy.
6 damage.
Here's the save. Oh, that's a D. That's not the save. Here's the save. Pooey. 6 damage. That kills him as well. You shatter all 3 of them. Now, the reason I'm moving them over here is because you see helmets appearing out of the water in that direction.
Those disturbances we saw earlier.
Yes. Those appear to be more skeletons slowly walking from the bottom of the pond up toward your end there. And it's their turn to act, so I'll go ahead and move them. One of them comes up here. He's armed with a spear. This one is armed with a sword. It's going to join to Dask and here. So, starting with core, you're attacked with a spear. AC?
I believe it's 16. 16.
It's a miss. You kind of juke out of the way of it. It slices past your ear. The sword on this guy, he swings. He connects. Do die 6 plus 2 damage. 3 points of damage. Over here on Dask, first skeleton, the only 2 that are left, the 2 that are on you, Dask, both have swords. So the first one swings. You have an armor class of 20, is that right?
21.
21. He misses, or you block it, rather, I should say. You parry that with your sword, with your weapon. And again, you parry the other one as well. Parry both of them, so they're striking towards you. Oliver, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna take out what little range there is in their ranks and go for the skeleton with the spear here.
Sounds good.
Well,
Tried,
I only have
the tried and true.
tried and true.
Okay.
Here's hoping. Yeah, maybe.
AC 13. Yep, that hits.
Cool.
7 damage. Get that calculated on here. Okay. The
no
blast
mistaken
flies
damage,
off your fingers, burns off your fingers, hits him, covers him in sparks, and it is Dask's turn.
Oh, did we lose him?
Did we lose
No,
Dask?
I'm here
Just deciding.
thinking.
If it helps anybody, I'm getting my amulet ready to cast Turn Undead on the next round. So
Or I could just cast Turn Unholy right now.
You could.
Turn the Unholy.
yeah, 30 feet will hit all of them. So
then if I'm now I have a couple quick questions. If I'm correct in 5e, that lasts for an hour. Is that right?
Um,
From the unholy? No, I don't believe so.
it is 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Distinctly not an hour. Okay.
But that still gives us time to just beat one down at a time, so they're not all just continually attacking us.
Except they're gonna
Well,
be moving away from
they're going to
me.
be moving away, and if you attack them, it'll break the effect of the turning.
Right.
Correct. But hey, we can attack one at a time.
That's what I was
One
saying.
grapples one. The other person hits it with the club or something. I hit it with Eldritch Blast. It works.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you. So, is that what you're going to do, Dask?
Yeah.
What kind of action is it? Just so we make sure. Is it an action or a
Well,
bonus?
it's
Or?
paladin.
It's an action.
It's an action. It's paladin thing. They must make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Or
is that for sure what you're going to do?
yeah.
What's your spellcast DC?
8 plus modifier plus proficiency.
Do I just roll the d4 for my proficiency?
Oh yeah, you certainly can. Absolutely. Or you can just take the +2 on this effect if you'd like. But yes, you have the option. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a 75% chance to either equal or do better, so might as well.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, you did better.
Bam.
Okay.
So
So what's the
8
DC?
plus 4 plus 3. 12. So
15.
15.
15.
So
15.
Yep.
Okay. And they have a -1 to wisdom checks. So they need to clear a 16 here. Okay. I'm going to start with the upper one and work my way down. That guy fails. He turns. He's still smiling, but you think he's upset. The next one fails as well. The next one fails. That one barely rolled. And the next one.
Oh.
The next one, I'm going to apply your proficiency bonus to damage against that bottom one. You raise your weapon into the air, cry out the name of your god, and there's a shining sort of flash of golden light. And these things react to it as if they'd been hit with lasers. They cover their eyes, their heads a little bit. They all try to turn, except for that last one who shatters and falls into the water. The other three, however, let me delete him off the board. The other three turn and begin to move. I'll put them all 5 feet at this point. Attacks of opportunity if you want to, but
Yes.
remember it's...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember,
go ahead.
Remember it's what, though?
Just remember that attacking them will negate the turning.
That's true.
Do you want to or not?
We should only attack one of them. I'll probably let Dask attack one.
Yeah, I'm thinking the one. I think
Yep.
this
Yeah,
one
Sure.
is that one. I
is the
think
one
was
I
hit with a. Yeah.
with
I'll
the
attack him.
blast.
Okay.
That's a nat 1, I believe, if I'm reading this all correctly. It is. Okay, you swing your hammer at him as he goes to, or your mace at him as he's turning to leave. You miss hideously, releasing the hammer into the water. Splashes into the water and disappears quickly down into the rocks. Make a perception check to see if you know where it's at. DC 11. Otherwise, you're going to have to spend some rounds fishing for it. You are going to be fishing for it. It disappears down into the bottom. You didn't quite see where it landed, so you start, kicking around, trying frantically looking for it instantly. However, because you miss so hideously, it doesn't break that effect. The skeletons are still moving away from you. So let's go ahead and well, what?
Oh, I was just saying, he was so focused on trying to turn the unholy that he just like, oh, what? Okay.
Damn it,
Everything was
Dask.
great.
His weapon as it's right.
Everyone roll initiative again. This is Niles. It's not that it's that important.
Okay.
Whoops.
Really
Oh,
with my initiative,
sorry.
would just
Ignore that second one. It's the first one that I rolled. It's the one I'm taking. It just didn't come up for a minute. I thought it didn't get it. So Niles is at a 19. Everybody else, did they update correctly? Yes, it looks like you did. Roll for the skeletons. A 6. Okay. Oh, my mouse got stuck there for a minute. Okay, so Niles remains where he is and cheers you on. Kill him! Kill him! He's yelling from over the log. It's your turn, Core. What you gonna do?
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on probably this. Yeah, this one right here. Oh, why is it? This guy right here.
Okay.
So. So 15. And
Oh, you didn't have to. This is a cantrip. You don't have to roll for that one.
Okay, and it does 1d8 damage.
Flame-like radiance descends from the air, strikes him, doing die 8. 4 damage.
Dexterity saving throw for Sacred Flame.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
He fails it.
Yeah.
No, okay. The flames ignite on him, sort of bright golden flames all over him. He's silently screaming, but still grinning oddly, these creatures. Okay, next would be Dask. Oh, Dask, you're hunting for your weapon, or are you just gonna revert to a different one?
Well, the only other weapon I have is my Warhammer, which it's currently at like 3 health or whatever.
Can I toss him? I have 2 Warhammers. Can I toss him one as a bonus action?
Did you already act this round? Yeah, you
yeah,
did.
I did.
As a bonus action, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You just grab it from your belt, yell Dask, and kind of hurl it at him.
Yep.
Okay. Core seems to be attacking you, Dask. He's hurled a weapon. No, he calls to you, and you see him lob. What are you lobbing to him?
Warhammer. Just standard Warhammer, not the +1.
You can make it, I guess, a dex check to grab it. DC 9.
Big money, no whammies.
Big money, no. Oh,
what?
It's almost a 20, and it strikes your hand, flies off of it, and kabloop, down into the drink. You're still staring at course. You're not certain where that one went down either. Now there are 2 weapons in the water. Yeah, you have no idea.
I don't know where one either.
But it increases your likelihood of finding one.
The skeletons continue to move away from you. This one disappears into the water. And that's the round. Let's roll initiative for the 3rd round. Unless, what are you guys doing?
Actually, Oliver gets to move.
First.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Why do I always skip you, Oliver? I always do. I'm sorry. It's a bad habit of mine. If I do it again, I'll give you a luck check. So, okay. What are you doing?
Right.
They didn't move where they're closer. They're closer, Oliver. They didn't get to. Oh, they moved before you. That's right.
I was gonna say they moved before my turn. Yeah.
So the only one, this one here has descended to where you can only kind of see his helmet on the top of the water. But the other 2 are still, half in and out of the water.
And I've already hit this one before, I believe, correct?
It's hard to say at this point. We've cycled through several. That is.
I think that's the one.
That's one of he's one of the original ones.
Yeah, so he is wounded. Looks like.
Yeah, just go with the usual here. See what I can do. Hopefully, get one less enemy on the. 15 for
that will
damage.
work. That hits 7. Which one is it, Oliver? Again, I need to know.
That one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, you kill him. What was it you cast? I can't remember. Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast.
Blast.
The old tried and true. Purple sparks erupt over his back, and he collapses. There's a bunch of broken bones into the water, some of them floating, some of them sinking. He's gone.
Nice, that's one less enemy that can ambush us once the effect wears off.
That's true. True enough. Okay, so how would you guys like to proceed? You can continue with the combat. You can let them move away from you and then try to just get around them and go past. What would you like to do?
I say we let them move away. We regather our shit, collect our weapons, and then proceed cautiously.
Okay, so in that case, we'll ignore initiative. Dask, you begin, reaching around on the stones around you to try to find the weapons. Go ahead and make me a perception check. Let's call it DC 13. What was it last time? 13 or 14?
I'm gonna hop down and try to help.
I'll call it 13 just because they're not here. If they were still closer, I think it'd be a little harder. Oh yeah, that'll do. You find one. Even you find your weapon. Odd, you find possibly a different weapon. You find it. You grab it by the handle as if it came to your hand, and you lift your.
I find both.
You pull your mace back up out of the water. Do you just leave? Do you leave cores, or are you searching for it as well?
I'm going to be searching as well.
Okay,
Corey. I think the other two of us are also searching.
Okay, everybody's over there scrambling around. You're kind of, neck deep in the water as you're trying to find it. Whoa, Oliver!
I was too busy firing Eldritch Blast. I didn't even know there was a weapon in the water. I kind of heard something splash, and I was just like, "Huh? What am I looking for?"
They're playing in the
Oliver.
water.
Oliver shouts and raises his hand. There's a large crawdad attached to it. It is pinched on pretty good. You take a point of damage. Stumble back and sweep it off of your hand. It hits the water and swims off. Core, you find the warhammer, drag it up out of the muck.
I'll tuck it back into my belt.
Let me see. Niles is trying to climb over the log. Come on, Niles. Dex check. You can do this. No, you can't do this. Niles, make a desperate dex check not to fall back down the falls. You do. Okay. Niles stumbles and falls. He's now laying half over the log, kind of stuck, trying to get one leg over the other side of it.
All right, I'll help pull him all the rest of the way.
Okay, you pull him over. He slops down into the water. We better go quick. Meantime, these guys have kind of worked their way out there. This one has disappeared for the most part, so you're not certain where he is. This one you see over here. He's still working his way along the wall of the thorns there in the pool. What's our plan, Stans?
I just wanted to let you know it is after 11:30 your time, so.
Yeah, do you guys want to stop at 11:30? Want to push on till say 11:50 or so?
Yeah, let's push on.
Okay. Get it. We'll find a good place to break up ahead. So I'm going to assume the group of you. I just need to know any thoughts on how you cross this pool. It's obviously deeper in the middle.
Yeah, I'm gonna skirt my way around the edge. I'm thinking kind of this direction. Where the trees
you want
are.
to follow? Gonna follow the skeleton around?
Might as well.
Okay.
Can I do something?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to move to here. That's a safe place.
It is.
And I want to use Divine Sense.
Oh, and what's that going to tell you?
I can detect good and evil. So you can sense anything affected by a hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet. That is not behind total cover. Wait,
nice.
Does water count as total cover?
And there he is. He pops up on your radar. right out in the middle of the pool. And this one is, of course, over here. You don't detect the presence of anything else in the general region. Just those two.
Oh, I have a crossbow.
I'm only sensing two of them.
Arrows do half damaged undead, just to remind you.
Oh, right. Yeah. Kind of tickle them, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to just keep moving on the edge of the water.
Okay. You guys begin to move. This one flees from you, but at about here, that minute begins to be done. I'm going to say, I'm assuming the group of you go that way. Is that right?
I was actually gonna turn towards Niles and ask him where we're heading, since he seems to know the area.
Well, I just think we must be close. The creek runs along the base of Bone Dust Hill, so it can't be very far ahead.
Follow the others.
Unless we're in the wrong creek, he says, and looks around kind of nervously. So the group of you work your way up and over here. The skeleton has become a little happier. I'm sorry, I just kind of moved you all. And he's begun to move back towards you. He sinks down to about 4 feet here, but is slowly moving across. His head and shoulders are above the water.
Do I notice him coming towards us?
Oh yeah, totally.
Fire!
Can I just try hitting him? Yeah.
Fire the cannons!
You're gonna use old trusty?
Yeah, if I can.
Okay, you summon up the sparks on your hand and direct them toward him. Purple gleam in the air as it strikes or misses. No, it hits. And damage?
7.
7. He's dead. Collapses dead. No others. You don't see anything else. Continue on.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and move yourselves about, I'd say, 5 squares up.
Right around here?
Yeah, around there somewhere.
Okay.
There you go. At about that point, this one's head rises up above the water and begins to move towards you. Takes a wild swing at Oliver. I'm making him take disadvantage because he's pretty much under the water still. So I'm going to go ahead and roll these. This is disadvantage. Hit on Oliver is a miss in both cases, I think. Your armor class of 12, right, Oliver?
It should be. I don't know why it says 22 at the moment, but it should be 12.
Okay.
Because you cast that armor earlier.
Well, no, that even that shouldn't affect it. That doesn't add to my AC. That only adds temporary hit points.
Well, regardless, he misses, but he does take a swing at you there, and he's coming up out of the water as he approaches closer. You can all take an action.
Okay. I will.
I'm just gonna turn towards. Oh wait. Oh no, he didn't hit. Never mind.
So the water gets pretty
dwarf.
The water gets pretty deep right there. It's also up to your almost to your chin at that point. You'll have disadvantage if you take a swing.
Oh, that does not hit.
All right. I won't take a swing, but I will try casting. I'll stay back where I was.
Okay.
I will try casting the. How would it go? Sacred Flame on him again.
All right, sounds good. A beam of light shines down from above, strikes him, golden flames licking all over him. He opens his mouth as if he's very happy.
Drink the golden flames.
And they seem to do the trick. He dissolves into the water and is gone. The golden flames still licking the bones even under the water for a minute, making a little gleam under there before they go out.
I am not searching these skellies for gold. Too much work.
It probably would be. The group of you continue on, make your way around this pool, and head up the creek.
Yeah.
So, from here, the march isn't quite that far. I'm going to switch maps again. Once again, I'd like you to hold off on bringing your figures or your tokens onto the map. As a matter of fact, we won't be placing them tonight. I'm just going to... well, no. In that case, we won't have to switch the maps. We'll wait till next week. Ahead of you, however, you see the gray light of the gray day kind of streaming down in over the waters. The creek sort of meanders ahead of you over some boulders and around some tree roots and things as it reaches this area where there's another kind of open space. You can see gray light washing in from the right side of the creek. And in that gray light, you see quite a few silhouetted figures standing. They're various shapes. They look like they're more skeletons. You can tell just kind of by the janky way they're moving and just sort of the skinniness around the necks of the few that you can see their heads. several different forms, though, of these skeletons. Some appear to be dwarvish skeletons, some appear to be human or elf skeletons, and some appear to be orc skeletons. Now, there's a particularly large skeleton of an orc in old, I guess, presumably rusted and battered up armor. He's just a silhouette for the most part, from what you can see, holding a massive axe in one hand, staring down the creek toward where you guys are. He doesn't seem to have seen you yet, but Niles douses the lantern anyway. And
Niles.
there are, you see some of them moving on the shore, some of them in the creek. Most are just standing still and staring either up or down the creek, and there's around a dozen of them.
Shit.
So that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. When we begin the game next week, you all will have to deal with how you're going to get past this mob of skeletons and hopefully up onto the base of Bone Dust Hill, because Niles says he thinks that the hill is just there. And in the meantime, thank you for playing. It was a good game this evening. I like the idea that we were rated. Anybody watching this that has watched to the end or happens to be watching it in the future, just wanted to mention that we're playing through Night of the Sun. It's a D&D adventure module. I hesitate to say it's strictly 5e. We put it together with 5e as its kind of base, but you can play it in any OSR system that you want to use, or Pathfinder. The transition is very easy. Just need to know the basic stats of your undead, that sort of thing. And you can get it on Drive-Thru RPG if you want. You can buy it as PDF. You can also buy it as a print book. I think you can get it hardbound and softbound either way. Also, I'd like to mention that we have a Patreon. Mad Hermit Games is our Patreon name. So if you go to Patreon, just search for Mad Hermit Games. And on there, I hope you do go and visit it, because on there we have the first issue of our newsletter available. The newsletter is called the Raven Pail. And you can see it in our first sort of article written there. There should be a link. You can just click it and download that PDF. It's a beefy newsletter. More than half of it's taken up with the first section of a serial module that will be in every issue of that newsletter going forward. And it's monthly, but the first issue is free. So please go check it out. In the meantime, thank you for having watched this far. And you guys, I will see you next week.
Sounds good, man. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Thank you.